Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream, and it's a bit different from the normal videos that I've been posting and the normal things that I've been talking about, the gender war, all of that great stuff, right? Gotta be the villain. This time we gotta roll right back to what we were talking about, I want to say about several months ago, where it was specifically talking about the Africans and how it is that they always want to pull up to the scene talking real nonsense, real greasy about Black Americans, knowing the fact that a lot of Africans are runners, that they're track stars, knowing the fact that a lot of them are not even supposed to be here, knowing the fact that a lot of Africans like to tout that they are so great, so awesome, so smart, and so intelligent, but yet they cannot seemingly get their own countries in order. Hey, what is up, Tippy? Look at that. Tippy is here on time. I see you, Tippy. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Hey, what is up, Shan? What is up? What is up? What's up? So, because this has to be a different live stream, I got a few, just literally a few. So it's probably going to be a short live stream, right? But we're going to go over quite a few videos dealing with these Africans here and the many things that they, in a sense, have to say, especially the Nigerians. I don't know what it is about Nigerians and how it is that they want to specifically speak on Black Americans every single time. It's as if they have nothing else better to do. They can talk about their country, they can talk about a variety of different things, right? You said you might get some hate on the comment that you posted on the latest video. Wait, let me see something real quick before we get started. Let me just see. Let me see. Uh, Wait, did that one just get posted? Let me. I gotta. Okay, that was one from like 6 hours ago. Okay. Let me see if I can just roll through. That's because you be writing these paragraphs, Tiffy. You be writing these long novels in the comment section every time. I don't even got time to read it right now. I'll take a look at it. No, I got you. I'll take a look at it as I let this video play real quick.
I have a question, and y'all really got to hear me out. Why the do black people get so mad? Like, I'm talking about not African people, I'm talking about black Americans. Why do y'all get so offended when Africans say that y'all are descendants of slavery and descendants of the white man penetrating y'all's family? Like, why does that bother y'all so bad? Like, that's what happened. That's the truth. And when you come with a bitch like me, that my descendants wasn't slaves and didn't come from slavery, nigga, at all, and I'm not penetrated by I'm like a full bred Nigerian girl. Like, y'all got all these different, like, how, you know how they be breeding dogs and y'all are mutts. Y'all are mutts. Like, why does that piss y'all off? Y'all got everything in y'all. Y'all a little bit Ireland. Y'all a little bit Cameroon. Might have some Nigerian in you because you know we was the ones selling the people. Why does that piss y'all off so like? Why does history piss y'all off so bad? That's the truth, bitch.
So I just want to note, rage bait or not, you got to understand that she was being dead serious. She's not the first or the last African that has said something as disrespectful as that towards Black Americans. I just want people to understand that because it's very easy for a lot of people to excuse stuff. You'd be like, it's rage bait. Oh, it's AI. It's this, that, and the third. Yeah, just like when people say within comedy, there's some truth there within that joke. Yeah, it's the exact same thing here. It don't matter what it is that she's stating. I want you to understand that she is stating this while, in a sense, having certain types of like aesthetics that you would normally see Black American women normally with, right? So in Africa, how many people over there really wearing like a bonnet? for their hair. Just saying, right? How many African women over there naturally got their eyebrows done? Right? How many African women over there are, speaking in slang? Right? Black American vernacular, things of that nature. And then to take it a step further, somebody else, another content creator, has showcased the fact, because he made a reply. He showcased the fact of how it is that she's dressed. And I'm like, I don't see a lick of Nigerian when she's dressed. And as a matter of fact, she's speaking as if she is here in the United States as a Black American woman. Again, I don't hear a female Nigerian accent, and normally when female Nigerians talk, it's kind of deep. I'm just gonna be real. It has a rustic. I don't know how else to even state it. It's a rustic type of tone, directly to it. And like I said, it's crazy to me how a lot of these Africans come directly over here and they want to be so disrespectful, and they want to run their mouth. They can sit up there and literally talk about their country. They could talk about fixing it. They could talk about going back home. They could talk about building it back up. Matter of fact, for the Africans directly out there, didn't y'all just have like 300 kids go missing just recently? Let me look that up real quick. Let me I just want to make sure. Yeah, 300 kids in Nigeria. Huh. More than 300 students were abducted from a Catholic school in Nigeria. Now, why is this Nigerian woman not talking about it? That's some crazy work. That's diabolical. Let me let you know real quick. Well, I'm just going to say it differently. I don't care if you block me. Go ahead. Why are you telling me? Are you not a grown adult? Can you not make decisions for yourself? You keep writing stuff directly in the chat because you want to reply, which is crazy. I'm like, I would have thought you was a female or something like that. Like that's just crazy. You keep typing the exact same thing to no avail, to no point. And this whole live stream is going to be about the exact same thing. So good luck on that. Just hit that block button real quick. Hit the block button on both channels so you don't have to worry about seeing me. Like I said, nobody even told you got to be African, because nobody even told you to bring yourself directly on this platform at all. Oh, Sham already got rid of him. It's a shame. Well, activating trap cards left and right. It'd be like that. It be like that. You didn't just got yourself just, placed in the shadow realm, good sir. Or ma'am, whatever you are, zebra. I don't know, unicorn. Anyways, so after she decided to say what it is that she stated, right, we're going to speed this right up, and we're going to carry this right along, right? Because again, like this Frank person directly up here wanted to be a clown. I like clowns. I like circus, right? I like clown cars. We're going to keep this moving so you can hear the rest of this.
Bitch.
Yo, Minnesota was promised to us Somalis 3,000 years ago. And if you disagree, you're an anti-Cushite bigot and you need help immediately. Also, if you read Genesis 12:3, it says that those who bless Somalis will be blessed, and those who try to harm them will bring harm upon themselves. I didn't say that. Genesis 12:3.
So now we're using the Bible to try to justify Somalians being here. So you mean to tell me that, what was it? Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but last time I checked, the Ethiopian Bible was the oldest Bible pretty much in the world, correct? Right? So you mean to tell me that you had that knowledge there in the lands of Africa, and it took you up until this point to look through there and figure out that, oh, Minnesota was basically promising, out of all of the land in the world, Minnesota? Who wants Minnesota? Who's even thinking about Minnesota? You're literally light years. You're a whole different universe away dealing with continents. And you're like, out of all of the places that you could potentially be, even trying to raise up Atlantis or trying to thaw out Antarctica, right? The center of the earth or whatever it is, right? Out of all the places that you could be, you're like, ah, yes, Minnesota. God's book said that that was promised for us. That sounds a bit familiar. That sounds a bit familiar. Sounds like you're going in a direction. Sounds like you're going in quite a direction there. And like I said, if for the Somalians out there, you sitting up there trying to send out shots to white folks in Minnesota and to the United States government talking about, hey, if you don't leave us alone, something's going to happen. That's some crazy work. You really going to get deported. I don't know who. Let me go back to this dude's face. Who are you again? I don't know where he's located. Somebody in the United States government might want to find out who that man is, because I feel like that is a terroristic threat. I'm just gonna be real. Just gonna be real. That's crazy to me. You're sitting up here saying that basically if anybody in the United States, including the government and military, tries to do anything to remove you from Minnesota, that something bad is going to happen. That sounds like a terroristic threat. Sounds like a terroristic threat. That guy needs to be looked into, and his family. Like I said, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I don't want anybody to sit up there and think that, I'm some type of what's the terminology? I don't really got the proper education for this. Xenophobic. I don't want anybody to think that I'm xenophobic, right? Because they like to use that against Black Americans a lot, right? So we're going to continue this and see what the next person
try to harm them or bring harm upon themselves
has to say, right? So we're just going to speed this along because he wants to talk a little bit too much.
And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks. And we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries too. I can say it about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. Our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. They came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Thank you very much.
It's bars. You're going to come here to the United States that allowed you to be here illegally from Africa. You decided to, swim, fly, use inflatable rafts to run away from your countries. The craziest part that I don't think a lot of Africans actually understand is that you guys are still running. You guys are still coming here on rafts, trying to swim past sharks, trying to make it to American soil. That's some dangerous work. I wonder, what is it that you're really running from that you would want to go through shark infested waters and all of this, life potentially ending, situations just to get here? Seems as though that you might have a lot of criminals running. Because usually what tends to happen is that when people are into some things and they happen to owe some people money, people want to start running. People want to find another way to get away from that so they can never be found, so that they don't have to pay back, what is owed. Or maybe possibly these people did something very harsh where there was going to be, a trial, maybe the village or the town was going to come directly after them. And they had two options: either stay there and deal with the consequences, which means that they probably weren't going to be there, or they were going to end up in a hospital, or you could run and flee and never come back ever again. Because for the life of me, nobody can point to me at any point in time that Black Americans are trying to illegally get to some type of ships and then illegally get to Africa and just live there and hide. It just doesn't, that doesn't happen. But then you got Somalians up here talking about that Minnesota was promised to them. Really? It was promised? But you gotta lie, cheat, and steal to get here? Huh? That don't make any type of sense. That's diabolical in nature. Seems like somebody telling some great tales, weaving some tall lies. And again, as stated before, when it deals with all of these areas that are being deported, the one group of people that's not being deported, Black Americans. Ooh, it gotta burn. That has to hurt somewhere. None of our families are getting deported. We don't have any black SUVs or anything like that rolling up to our houses or to our schools or to our jobs or to our hospitals to come take us off the IV or out of pre-K and NICU or whatever it is, and putting everybody on a plane back to where it is that they came from. That's not happening to Black Americans, but it is happening to Africans. Funny how they don't want to talk about that. It's funny how they don't want to bring that up. It's funny. It's diabolical in nature. The interesting part is somebody in the comment section wanted to write yet. So show me at a point in time in history where Black Americans have been deported. I'll wait. Take your time. Take your time. Uh-oh, look at that. Somebody decided to pop back up after they were already thrown into the shadow realm. That is diabolical in nature. Mm-mm-mm. You know what? We did sit up there and tell y'all that y'all going to have to keep trying to come back here. And the craziest part is I could have sworn you said that you were going to block me. I could have sworn you said that you were going to block this channel per your comment directly up there. But you came right back up here with another account. That's a little bit weird, a little bit stalkerish. That seems a little bit suspicious. I mean, I guess people got to do what they got to do in order to get a little bit of attention because they don't get none in real life. It'd be like that, though. It'd be like that. So now we're going to go directly to another nice video here where you have this. I can now just get rid of the comment now. Where we got this Haitian that want to talk real greasy when it deals with Black Americans, talking about how they're pulling up to the scene, stealing our jobs and doing all of these things. Let's just take a listen to this man and what he has to say.
What do you think we came here for? Walk around? Nah, not to count sheep. We came to drink milk. Okay, so we taking your jobs. And there's nothing you can do about it. You understand? And they gotta pay me more. Because I got better work ethics. Better work ethics, I have more skills than you do. What you gonna do? That's what I thought. Nothing. Go be mad. Oh, immigrants are taking our jobs. Yes, we are.
Hold on. So you said the majority of MAGA accounts are based abroad. Are you being paid by individuals abroad? Huh? So before I get directly into this, who specifically are you talking to? Are you talking to the person that's talking during this live stream, or is your reply to somebody else in the comment section? Because I commonly tell a lot of grown adults, if you're speaking directly to the person talking that is speaking to you, use the @ feature, which everybody has clearly on their phone, right? Hit @ and then put SEIJIHITO. If not, kindly state who it is that you are replying directly to. So you said it's a question to me. So let's see. Where does it state that I am politically anything? That's what I want to know. Where does it state anywhere during this live stream that I am politically anything? Where does it state that I'm left or that I'm right or middle? Let me know. Sham is like, nah, play it to this. Sham don't want to let nobody survive today. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Well, hey, what is up, Pink? What is going on? What is going on? Sham said, what mega account are you talking about, Seji? No. He was basically trying to say that I guess I'm a foreign MAGA agent or something like that. Like it's crazy out here when people can't specifically pin you on something, they try to pin you on something. It's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing. I guess because I agreed with the sentiments that Trump was stating about the Africans, I guess that automatically, makes me whatever. I mean, I guess it'd be like that. Anyways, let's just restart this video.
Immigrants, what do you think we came here for? Walk around? Nah, not to count sheep. We came to drink milk. Okay, so we taking your jobs, and there's nothing you can do about it. You understand? And then they gotta pay me more, because I got better work ethics. Better work ethics, I have more skills than you do. What you gonna do? That's what I thought. Nothing. But be mad. Oh, immigrants are taking our jobs. Yes, we are. We're all taking your jobs. Keep sitting at home playing that Xbox, okay?
Few moments later.
Now, these individuals in Ohio, these migrants from Haiti, these people living there from Haiti, do you consider them here legal or illegal? And would you revoke TPS status?
Which area are you talking about?
Let's say Springfield.
What's happening there is horrible. You have a beautiful community, 52,000 people, and about 30,000 people were put into that community rapidly, and the community is so nice, and they want to be so politically correct. You have to remove the people. We cannot destroy our country. You had a beautiful, safe community. Everyone's in love with everybody. Everything was nice. It was like a picture community. And all of a sudden, in a short period of time, they have 32,000 more people in there. It doesn't work. It can't work. It has nothing to do with Haiti or anything else. It doesn't work.
So you would revoke the temporary protected status?
Absolutely. I'd revoke it, and I'd bring them back to their country.
What if they won't receive them
They're
not?
Well, they're going to receive them. They'll receive
his status for Asian migrants, over 300,000, I think it was 350,000 Asian migrants, is coming to an end, unfortunately. The Trump administration and Kristi Noem has decided that Haiti no longer meets the criteria of what they'll call refugee status or something to that nature, right?
You don't say.
So they're moving ahead and removing the temporary protective status for over 300,000 Asians, and it starts to begin as soon as around early February. You see what I'm saying? Now, according to the human rights group that are on the ground in Haiti, seeing firsthand what's going on, it's bad on the ground. For those who know, you know. Okay, there's still a lot of things.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I could have sworn you told us that you Haitians were taking Black American jobs. There was nothing we could do about it. Be mad about it. You got a better work ethic and all this other type of stuff, and to stay home and play Xbox. Well, I mean, I do play Xbox. I stay home, I play Xbox and also do content. But it seems like your work ethic did not matter at all to the United States of America, and yours, and many others are about to get placed right back to Haiti. And then you're giving people a warning about, like, yo, the grounds of Haiti, like, yo, it's bad out there. I mean, that's tough. I mean, I'm pretty sure because you're Haitian, you should be able to survive, right? You should be able to rough it, right? You should be able to make it anywhere, You say you were here and you were just taking Black American jobs. You should be able to take back Haiti and make some jobs. Make it. You should be able to make it slapping out there. Get things popping instead of being fearful and giving warnings. It's a little bit weird to me. I would think that people who are Haitian would know about the things that are going on in Haiti because they got family and kids and things of that nature directly back there, and people should need warnings because they grew up there, right? Or is it the fact that you got to give warnings because you have so many people that have come here and they've been away from Haiti for so long, right? Like one woman who got deported and she was in the United States for 42 years. And she never decided at any point in time during those 42 years to get naturalized into the United States. See, this is what this is what happens when you decide to jump the line. This is what happens when you want to lie and cheat and steal your way into the United States. And now you got to pay the piper. And I told people for the longest time possible that you cannot serve two gods. People didn't believe me. People wanted to laugh. People wanted to ignore it. People wanted to question it. And I sat up there and told people that America is very jealous woman. As soon as America finds out that you're serving somebody that is not her, it's over for you. Ties are going to be cut pretty quick. And a lot of y'all immigrants directly out here are understanding that at this moment in time, especially the ones that have always had something to say negative about Black Americans. You guys are learning so quick. And then it goes two ways. Either you got immigrants out here talking about some, let me just rephrase it. You got the Africans out here talking about, oh, we're all Black. This is affecting all of us. No, it's not. No, it's not, because for the longest time possible, a lot of Africans said that you guys are not cotton pickers. Even though the craziest part is I did a live stream and I had a video where they were talking about how a lot of, blue jeans are made over there in Africa, which means that you have cotton, which means that you got people over there picking cotton. So it's a little bit crazy to me. It's crazy that Africans want to sit up there and like use that as a type of negative towards Black Americans, but y'all over there picking cotton and making blue jeans. Matter of fact, I might be even wearing a pair of them right now. So, thanks to those Africans picking that cotton. Keep picking. Yeah. It's crazy work though, because I know I'm not picking no cotton in 2025. I know I'm not. I've never even seen that type of land at all, except for like in books and movies. Some crazy work, but some of y'all are actually looking at it right now, but you got the nerve to be in the United States, in these United States, and trying to talk negative about Black Americans, knowing that your family is still picking cotton. We've been over picking cotton for a very long time now. I guess y'all still catching up on that. That's crazy. I know we got like robots and stuff. We're starting to get, some flying cars, some aquatic cars. Y'all got to catch up. That's crazy work. It's crazy work. And like I said before, too, a lot of those Africans out there, over the time that I've been doing content on YouTube, I've tried to give love. I've tried to give appreciation and credit. I've even highlighted, some news, dealing with Africa. And, it's crazy to see the turn of events, and especially all of the evidence that we got of you guys specifically speaking negative on Black Americans. And now it just feels like that was just a wasted effort and a wasted amount of time for me to actually do that content. Because it's like, where did it actually get Black Americans? Where did it actually get us? Nowhere. It didn't formulate an allyship, and, no type of bonds or anything like that happened. Because when I report on the good, pretty much silent. Now, when I start reporting on the stuff that's in the middle and the stuff that's bad and the stuff that's ugly, then Africans want to start pulling up to the comment section. They want to start rah, just like they have in previous videos, like when I was doing a video about Burna Boy and the disrespect that he specifically had for at least one woman that was there. I'm not going to, I can't really sit up and say if she's Black American or not, but there was a melanated woman there. She fell asleep at the concert. Burna Boy got offended. He decided to throw her out to the concert, a concert of which she paid her hard-earned money directly for. And then after that, Burna Boy started getting some cancellations happening. Things weren't looking too good. Had to start canceling shows. weren't able to fill up seats. And then Burna Boy had to come out and give some type of, half apology when really, he was just apologizing so that he can keep up with the brand and, all the sponsors and the deals that he got and the obligations and all these other types of things. But like I tried to tell people before, especially a lot of these Africans, like, yo, y'all better start coming correct. Y'all better understand and know who it is that y'all talking to when y'all want to direct energy, because we will sit up there and shut things down. Y'all just do not understand. You think that the greater majority of whatever that y'all doing is coming directly from white folks. No, 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 no. Always understand that Black Americans, beyond any other group out here, bar none, Black Americans have the Midas touch. You better know and understand that real fast, quick, and in a hurry. Like I said, Black Americans are the reason that y'all got a lot of urban fashion over there in Africa at this moment in time. Like, you got Africans over there wearing fall and winter gear, which makes no sense. Like, what? You're on the beach sitting up here wearing Timbs. What are you doing? You're looking foolish. Timbs, blue jeans, puffer jacket, goose down, North Face. Like, what are we doing? You're on a warm beach and you're wearing fall and winter gear. Crazy work. Y'all sitting in groups trying to do a rap cipher. When were they ever doing that in Africa? Rap ciphers? Huh? Y'all sitting up there, your kids over there doing wave checks. When were y'all ever doing wave checks? What's even happening right now? What? On no hieroglyphs that I've ever seen over there was anybody doing wave checks. It's like, yeah, we about to pull out the do-rag, multi-do-rag, wave check. No. You got African boys over there sitting up there giving people tutorials on how to get waves. Brother, what? And you didn't make that. I don't care what nobody got to say. It was like, man, Seji, but over there in Egypt, they had, man, bro, look here. Wasn't nobody wearing a do-rag. Wasn't nobody pulling out with a do-rag or a wave cap in Egypt. Let's just keep it a stack. Let's just keep it where it is. The products that we sit up there and use, they were not using that over there in Egypt in ancient times. Like, come on now. It's crazy out here. But like I said, y'all gonna find out though. Y'all gonna find out one way or another. One way or another. And also, this is just another healthy message to a lot of Black Americans here. Pay attention.
And them Muslims that be in corner stores in the hood do not like black people. Especially when they find out you a black person that can count your money and ain't gonna put up with they smart remarks. Oh yeah, they definitely don't like you. Because why I done went to my local corner store, right? 3 times in a row, these Arabs done charged me more than what the price of my stuff really was. So the 3rd time they did, I just said something. I'm like, what's going on? I said, do you think I'm slow? Do you think I can't count or something, bro? Put the right price up there. Then he got it to where you can't see the numbers on the register and shit when he ringing it up. He just ringing it up. And then they be so quick to throw the receipt out. He said, oh, no, my bad. No, it's not your bad, bro. Stop all that playing with me mentally, man. And then I go back. Look, I go back. You get what I'm saying? He give me a receipt, but I get me some BLKs. You know what BLKs is? You know what BLKs is. Why he gonna throw them at me on the counter? He gonna throw them on the counter. So I said, hey man, get me a bag, put my stuff in the bag. He said, oh no, I can't put it in the bag. You put it in your own bag. I said, nah. If I was to show out in here, you really mad because I caught you trying to cheat me out of my money. Mm-hmm. So I took 2 quarters out of my pocket. I said, now, if I paid for something and I just threw these quarters at your chest, would you like it? He said, no, we better than that. I said, okay, so next time put my product that I buy in my hand if it's coming from behind the counter.
Bars.
Keep y'all eyes out on it. Bro, I'm telling y'all, they do not like black people, and when they get a chance, they will cheat you, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
So for some of my Detroiters directly out there, 313, there was a place called Trade Winds. I'm not sure if it might still be there now. But you got Trade Winds, and then a little bit within the same parking lot area, you had like a video store that was there, and I think that might have got turned into like some type of like little small gym. I'm not sure if those are even both there at the moment of time either. But I remember being younger, and I would go there with my grandmother because she would go there and get, you know, the lottery. That would be her favorite place to go play, you know, the lottery, unless it was like the corner store. If the corner store was closed and it was like a certain time, it's like, all right, we're going to hurry up and run to trade winds and, you know, play the lottery and probably get a scratch off and maybe, you know, get some candy and, you know, and stuff like that. And the Arabs that were there, they would try to sit up there and cheat my grandmother out of money. And she done caught them multiple times and called them out. And they would swear, it was like, oh no, you know, just like he's saying, it was like they always swear every single time, oh no, you know, it was a mistake, this, that, and the third. Like they like to do stuff real quick and real fast because they're like, if I do this fast enough, you're not gonna, you know, really pay attention to it. Because they think that black people don't know how to count. They think that black people ain't paying attention. All these others, like I said, they will try to play you directly in front of your face in your own community. And that's both for the Africans and the Arabs. They do not like black Americans at all. These are facts. Can't no immigrant sit up there and tell me different because you don't know nothing about it. So have several seats somewhere. I don't care how offended you get. Like I said, a lot of black Americans got stories just like this. Like I said, how old was my grandmother during the time? She might have been, at least at that time, that should have been at least like the 90s. She should have been like somewhere like in her, like 60s? I would have said like somewhere in her 60s. Like I said, they'll try you multiple times. And so again, for the black Americans out there, you got to sit up there and like really keep track. You got to pay. Don't have, and this is the main thing that my grandma always told me. She was like, yo, whenever you have to register, pay attention to everything. Pay attention to how they sit up there and ring it up, and don't have no conversation, because the one thing that they will always try to do when it deals with a lot of these Africans and these Arabs, they'll always try to have conversation with you to keep you distracted. Like they'll be real quick to do the two things at once and all this other type of stuff. But for you, don't have that conversation. Have a conversation after. Make the conversation real short and sweet. It was like, yo, just ring up my stuff. You probably got to say it rude, you know, or in that type of way, but make sure they get the point. He's like, hey, we ain't sitting up there doing this here. You ain't about to distract me to try to rob me of some money. Because like I said, people got to understand, 50 cents, 25, 50, 75, $1 here, $5, like that stuff adds up. Because if they taking $1 or $2 directly from you, just sit up there and times that by another, 500, maybe like 1,000 people within like a month or so that comes by there. And then times that by 12 months. And you see how much money that they're able to sit up there and pull. So like I said, all of that stuff adds up. All of that stuff adds up. Like, do not let these people sit up there and play you. Like I said, these a lot of these folks want to sit up there and talk a great game. Like, oh, y'all just want to be xenophobic for no reason. No, we got our reasons, because y'all been within our communities for the longest time possible. We've been as nice and as pleasant with y'all as could be, and all y'all do is lie, cheat, and steal, and rob directly from us. While we patronize y'all stores, we sitting up there sending, basically paying off whatever debts that y'all got. We're sitting up there feeding 2 households when it deals with your community. We're dealing with your household that is here. And again, a lot of those folks, like the Africans, the Asians, the Arabs, they don't have homes within the black community. They're living in the suburbs. They're living with the white folks. So it's like the money ain't even staying within the black community. It's moving outward. It's staying in their household. It's moving through the suburbs, and it's moving directly to wherever their home country is. Especially when it deals with those Somalians, and we're going to get directly into that within one of these videos. I got 2 other videos left. They got a little bit of length to them, but like I said, that's how it works. These folks just come here to steal, to pillage, and rob. I gave y'all the video of an African woman that literally said that. She was like, when we go to the UK, we go to take. When we go to Australia, we go to take. When we go to Canada, we go to take. When we go to Asian countries, we go to take. When we come to the United States, we go to take. She was like, we don't come there to build. We don't come there to be a part of or to help out. We come there to see what it is that is there so that we can take. You even had a dude, and I cover his content quite a few times, and he stated he was Nigerian, and he stated that the Nigerian people are weak. He stated honestly that his father sat up there and robbed the Nigerian people there blind, ran off with the money to the United States, and now he's sitting up there just sitting on that money, living a lavish life, while the Nigerians are sitting up there poor, don't know what to do. And I'm like, for the life of me, for anybody who is Nigerian, don't you ever sit up there and open or utter a word about Black Americans when you got somebody here who literally robbed you and you ain't come to his door to come see him about your money. Don't say nothing to us. Like I said, you got one of your own that's here while you're here, and y'all ain't do nothing, but y'all want to sit up there and talk all big and bad to Black Americans. You can't even talk that way to the Europeans. But you trying to see us. You trying to educate us on something. You trying to sit up there. Oh, I got my master's from the white man's college. We're better than you Black Americans. You cotton pickers. Word. You're better, but you couldn't show that betterness back over there at home. You couldn't show how bright and smart you are back home amongst your Nigerian people, huh? You couldn't buy a house over there. You couldn't live lavishly and great? Huh? That's some crazy work. That's diabolical. It's very interesting. Like I say, I as a Black American have never at any point in time in my life ever robbed any Africans of their funds, of their money. At no point in time am I trying to be you, trying to claim to be you, trying to take your culture. I'm not trying to get into your government and steal any of your seats and just be there just to represent Black Americans and see what it is that Black Americans can get. Like I said, like people don't even understand. Like I said, we Black Americans are just so nice. We are so pleasant, but y'all make it so difficult. And then it's just, like I said, it's going to come to a point in time where Black Americans are just going to turn into villains. And then you're going to get what it is that you want. I keep trying to tell people, whatever you tell the universe that you really want, you will receive it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. And especially if it's something negative, it is going to happen instantly on a drop of a dime. It's not going to happen specifically on the time that you want it to happen, but it's going to happen on the universe's time. And people don't understand it, but you will. You'll understand it when you're meant to understand it. And it'll be right there at your front doorstep, and it's nothing you're going to be able to do. Just like how the United States government is getting a lot of Africans up on out of here. Pronto. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. As expeditiously as possible. And there ain't nothing y'all can do about it, because the mouth that y'all got for Black Americans, oh, you're not going to have that for a white man, no. we see how y'all be talking to the Asians over there in Africa. They be sitting up there beating you on your own land. Basically making you slaves, stealing your minerals and your resources. How'd that work? And they've been doing that for decades, while sitting up there getting your women pregnant with bastard children, abandoning those children. And like I said, they're doing that all for like a land grab, because I promise you, let a few more generations basically go by, because the Chinese, they know what they're doing. They're going to have all of those blazing kids over there claim to be Chinese. The Chinese are going to come get those kids, because all of those kids are going to have land rights. And I'm pretty sure, strategically speaking, that the Chinese men who are getting those African women pregnant, they're specifically getting them pregnant in certain areas that they know where there are very valuable minerals and resources, such as gold. So like I said, for a lot of the Africans, y'all need not to ever realistically speak on Black Americans, because y'all letting everybody pillage and rummage directly through your lands while you do nothing but look. You're not fighting. You're not formulating some type of army. You're not talking about some type of get back. You're not making some type of strategic warfare. You're not doing nothing. And can't nobody sit up there and tell me that, oh, well, the Africans, what they're doing is they're plotting to take over China because they have a little African conclave. You don't have enough Africans over there to match any, not even the smallest armies that they got over there in China. They will wipe you out. So I don't want anybody to be dumb enough to think that the Africans even got a plan to do that. They don't even got a plan for their own lands to even fight back there. This is why they're running everywhere else, to the UK, to Australia, to Russia. Shout out to Poland, because they're all up and through there. Canada, Japan. And you saw what Japan did. They tried to be nice, and then magically the Africans was like, yeah, we taking over Japan. You ain't taking. Oh, Japan straightened that out real quick. It was like, no, you're not. we're going to have to make some restrictions. We're going to make some corrective measures here. We're going to put out how it's properly supposed to do, how everything is supposed to go. Do not think for 1 second that you're about to take over Japan. Just like the video I gave y'all before, where the Africans were on a Black American TikTok page, and they were talking about like, yeah, we got this plan. New York is an African state. Texas, Minnesota, California. We're gonna be taking over Chicago. We will be taking over Detroit. Where in these United States are Africans taking over? You can't even take over your own land. How are you taking over a whole nother landmass? Huh? What? You got Africans that still can't even overtake the smallest minority that is in South Africa. So how in the world are you going to sit up there and take over the United States? What? Like, do people not understand that things are allowed to happen? The United States allows you, Africans, to be here. They allow you to be here, just like a lot of other folks, because they use you guys as a buffer, as a middleman when it deals with everything that is transpiring and going down with Black Americans and white folks and Black Americans. The Asians, I guess y'all didn't pay attention to that. The Asian population learned that the hard way when they wanted to, we're getting rid of DEI. We're getting rid of affirmative action. We're going to vote this down. Yeah, because it's really going to hurt the Blacks and it's going to put the Asians up. And the Asians realized that, oh, snap, we were really benefiting from affirmative action. And this is how a lot of us were actually getting into college. And now we're not really getting into those colleges. So now we're going to turn around and go to the courts and we're going to sue. Huh? Asians, sit down somewhere. No. Don't sue anybody, because you got exactly what it is that you wanted. You specifically thought because you were right, the friendly minority, right? Because you were the model minority, you thought because you were side by side, because you were the next to the great white hope, that hey, that this is going to be beneficial for us, and then it's going to really show who it is that we are, and then the doors are going to open. No, a lot of doors closed. A lot of doors closed. And now you're trying to sue for the right to go back to those colleges. I thought you said affirmative action allowed Black Americans to take seats away from Asians that were rightfully yours. But I guess the seats that you thought that got took by us were not even yours in the first place. The United States government handed those to you. So much for hard work and what a 12 or 1500 on an ACT, SAT, whatever it is. I forgot what those, what those standardized tests were. It's been a while. It's crazy. Like I said, it seems like all over the place, everybody who has ever had a problem with Black Americans, a certain type of feeling or a hatred, loathing for Black Americans, everybody is starting to learn bit by bit that you should not have disrespected us, because maybe if you didn't, we would actually be on the front lines with some poster boards, markers, tiki torches, actually fighting for what it is that you guys have to face currently at this moment in time, because anything that you're going through, we've already went through it. And also to a lot of other immigrants directly out there, where they want to sit up there and say that, oh, well, after they're done with all of us, what do you think is going to happen to you? It's going to go back right to the status quo. Everything that you're facing right now began with us. It was tested, a tried and true method. They had to, try to perfect it as much as possible with us in order to use it on you. That's how stupid a lot of folks are. Like, a lot of people want to sit up and say that Black Americans are not strong. Do you understand the wherewithal, the amount of willpower that it takes to even be here? to still even be able to survive and live and thrive with the little bit of numbers that we have. And y'all coming over here with a few people and y'all sitting up here crying. For us, it's just a Tuesday. For you, it's your whole life. That's crazy. Anyways, let's keep it going. Let's go to Donnie on stage and see what his brother got to say. Wait, hold on. What? Oh, we got a troll directly in here. A literal troll said, "Nobody talks as much about race than black people. Something is really wrong with y'all." Well, this is the thing. Chances are you're a troll and you're probably Caucasian or somewhere close directly in there. You're not Black American, I can tell you that. And you decided to come directly up to this live stream and think that you're pointing out something when I clearly state directly on, I think, all of my pages, I talk about race relations. I talk about societal issues and things of that nature. So thanks, Captain Obvious, for pointing out the obvious. You're stupid. That's some crazy work. It's like, yo, water is wet. No duh. No duh. Rocks are a hard substance. You don't say. Okay. What else you got? It's like some, this is crazy out here. I love it though. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Let me see. That is diabolical. Woo! Said Benton Harbor, Michigan. Woo, you far out there. Let me tell you something. I think I know a guy that should be out there in Benton Harbor. Shout out to you and yours out there in in Benton Harbor. Be on the lookout for those winter storms because it's going to be a tough winter for everybody, across the United States. Tippy says, "I don't see other people's comments. It's happening again." What you would probably have to do is you would have to go to the comments and then you would have to put, I think it would be like all or something like that, or it's depending on what channel that you're on. Because remember, when I look at the comments, I can see it from, my bad, sorry about the noise. When I look at the comments, I can see it directly from both channels. So all the comments pour, directly to me all in, one comment section. Somebody said, if someone cannot get into college by their own merit, they shouldn't be there to begin with. Don't agree with affirmative action. I mean, it'd be like that. This is the thing, though. Primarily, the main beneficiaries when it dealt with affirmative action were Asians and white women. So we know why it is that it was highly beneficial for white women. If we look at the history of the United States dealing with white women and white men, and how white men made sure for the longest time possible that white women did not really have any types of rights. So, not being able to drive, credit cards, you can't sign for a house, probably even let alone a couch, things of that nature. They made sure that, hey, you're staying directly in the house. You're dealing with the kids. You might be able to, throw a party, dealing with some Fabergé, something like that, or Avon, what's the or Tupperware, right? They made sure it was very strict to have that control. And then, afterwards, things transpired and happened. Different things happened within the law and society, and white women were able to move upwards and outwards. And now, as you can currently see, you have a lot of white men that do not like the fact that a lot of white women have corporate positions that are directly on the exact same level as them. A lot of white men do not like the fact that white women have the exact same education or potentially even making the exact same pay, if not more. So now you see a lot of those things being reversed, right, in order to put white women back into a certain place. So therefore, when white women get put into a certain place, that means that women of other colors, colors and whatnot are going to get placed as well. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, overthinking it. Maybe it's just me being a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just at least looking at history, and I'm looking at the dynamics between white men and white women and white men. And whatever happens at the top, the trickle down effect it's not even a trickle down effect. It's like a waterfall that's going to sit up there and hit, everybody else. So, you can sit up there and say that you don't agree with affirmative action. I'm going to more than likely say that you're a white male. And that's the reason that you don't agree with affirmative action. Like I said, I have no problem with women being able to do whatever it is that they want to sit up there and do. I don't see a purpose for me really trying to, control that. Now, when it comes into the perspective of safety, when it deals with protection and making sure, somebody is going the right way about things, that's a little bit different. Anything else, you want to buy a car, go right ahead, spend your money. You want to buy a house, go right ahead. And again, for when it deals with for women, when it deals with a car and when it deals with a home, you better make sure that you actually do have a man directly with you so that you don't get tricked out of your money. Because when it deals, case in point, for women, you guys get tricked the most out of your money when it deals with going to get your car fixed at a mechanic. A lot of male mechanics will see you a mile away and they know that you know jack squat about cars, and they're just going to up the fees on a lot of things. Certain things that's not even needed. Your car could be brand new. Magically, you need an oil change, tires, you got a loose bolt, the left blinker was out, antifreeze was leaking. Like magically, all of these things transpired within the realm of 5 minutes of them just touching that car. If a man takes that exact same car there, they're not going to pull that nonsense because they know better. Because the guy's going to be like, yo, either you're going to get to the real bottom of what's wrong with this, or I'm going to somebody else. Or number three, hey, I actually know about cars and I know you're lying. So we're about to have a problem. So what we about to do? Right. It's three options when it deals with men that's going to sit up there and take place. Women don't have those three options. And I'm not talking about the variable of women that, know something about cars, that may be mechanics. Again, that's the rare few directly out here, because 9 times out of 10, you ask a woman about a car, she don't really know nothing about a car. Just to be honest, people can sit up there and say I'm sexist, misogynistic, whatever it is. The facts are the facts. I'm just being honest. Right? Like I said, I don't know. But yeah. So like I said before, shout out to the white women and the Asians that decided to vote against affirmative action, because you have now screwed yourself, and you're not going to have black people to lean directly on or to fix this situation at all. Also to the black women, I'm sorry, let me reverse that real quick. To the black American women directly out here, let that be a keynote as to why it is that you don't have allies and other, quote unquote, as you like to call it, persons of color or people of color, right? Or ethnicities, because they never liked you in the first place. They voted against you. They voted against you because they knew that this was going to affect you. Because what was the main thing that people stated before when it deals with college education and money? Black women, they got a lot of money, college education, buying homes and things of the sort, right? So pretty much you may be, just maybe, outpacing, a lot of the other ethnic groups of women directly out here, especially the immigrant women and white women. And we've already seen, and I've showcased videos, how white women react to black women who are able to afford the best things in life. The types of snarky attitudes, the questions, the other types of attitudes, the micro aggressions that they would basically throw directly at black women on purpose. And especially to try to get them to go outside of character, because they want them to go into that stereotype so that they can be proven right, so that they can fit or put themselves on a type of pedestal to say that they are better than you. So, like I said, you said, wait. Tippy said, LOL. Oh, cool. Said it's working now. At first, I couldn't see everyone's comment. Okay. At least it's working. Yo, what is up, Pink? Pink said, when it comes to my car, my husband takes care of that. Yeah. And I've stated before that every woman who has a car you should have at least an uncle, a grandfather, if possible, your father, a male best friend. You should have one of those guys take that car directly to the mechanic so that you will more than likely get the best price possible. Because I promise you, if you take that car, it's going to be upcharged, up the wazoo. It's going to happen every single time. I kid you not. Kid you not. So you said, what's my opinion on the current Black American culture? For Alex, are you Black American? Let me know that. I'm responding to this person right now. Are you Black American? I need to know that. Need to know that real quick. Don't take that long to sit up there and type a respond. We might have a delay of maybe like 10 to maybe 15 seconds. And if the delay is like that for anybody on the channel, I would implore you to hit the live button that should be on the lower, I want to say the lower left-hand corner of the screen or underneath the screen somewhere on your phones or whatnot, so that the live can be, up. No, there is a reason to know. You talking about just answer the question. You think you running something out here? Who do you really think? I just want you to know that me and my moderators allow you to actually be here. That's your first part of disrespect right there. Like I said, I'm a very cordial person. I try to be as nice as possible. Like I said, Black Americans are very nice. People don't actually understand it. Now, we can just be straight asses if that's where people want to sit up there and take it. Well, and that is what happens. See, I try to tell people. I try to be nice. People want to sit up there and start trying to get disrespectful. I asked a very simple question. I'm like, yo, before we get into this conversation, what is your ethnicity? Because I need to know. Because I need to know specifically who it is that I'm dealing with. Because I'm like, if I'm not dealing with a Black American, we're not actually having that conversation. Right? Because you're going to try to go into some tropes. You're going to try to go into some stereotypes and all these other types of things and move the goalposts in the conversation. So what I would normally do is, if I know that you are a certain ethnicity, we can sit up there and talk about your culture currently at this moment in time. And please, oh Lord, help you if you just so happen to be American white. Dear Lord. Because we almost close to what, like $40 trillion in debt at this moment in time. And I got some stories directly in the background too. There was a young white girl that just sat up there. She was pregnant too. She just lost her life. And that child lost her life because a white male and a white woman sat up there and took their girl's life. And that was in Michigan. I think what they said was like Bexton, somewhere up yonder. So, like I said before, please don't do that here. If I ask you a question respectfully, you can just kindly answer the question. If you're not about that life, then we're not going to have that conversation. It's that simple. Don't come here sitting up here talking about like, yo, man, just answer the. You don't run nothing up in there. We ain't doing that. We are not doing that now. If you would have caught me like earlier on in my YouTube years, I'm like, you know what? Let me just answer the question real quick. Nah, not now. Straight villain mode. We are not doing that here. We are not doing that here. It's crazy work out here. Like I said, shout out to the trolls. So I guess since that person got banned to the Shadow Realm, we're going to continue on. So we're going to be looking at Donnie in timeout.
Are trying to drag Black.
I'm not sure if y'all know who this is. Check out his content directly on TikTok. Also, one more thing I want to list. For those out there, because maybe some of those people might be in the background listening, for those out there that always ask me, like, yo, Seji, so no links and you guys are stealing people's content. It's fair use. I'm not sure if people know how the internet works and how content creation works, but it falls within the realm of fair use. And if I happen to fall upon a clip that somebody else posted and it's not even an original person, and I can tell, I'm not going to sit up there and link it, because chances are if I go to that person's page, they may have other things directly up there. And because of how YouTube works, if you link something to something else and it's basically bad, it's going to look bad on me, and I'm not doing that. So the exact same way that I'm able to go out here and find content is the exact same way that you can do it. Like I said, everybody got a cell phone and everybody likes to doom scroll on TikTok. So yeah, it's crazy work. You could also use Google. But anyways, let's take a look what Donnie in Timeout has to say.
So Somalians are trying to drag Black Americans into their fight. Check this out.
But Trump based his order on a report whose author has made it clear that his goal is to denationalize and deport as many Somali Americans as possible. This is not about crime. It's not about safety. This is about purging people like me from this country. Minnesota has always been a welcoming place for people fleeing a home country that is battered by war, poverty, and hunger. Europeans in the 19th and 20th century, Black Americans from the South, Hmong.
That was a call for allyship, and they threw the race card out there. We're all black. What happened to I'm not black, I'm Somalian? And what happened to the call to allyship when y'all was scamming Minnesota out of hundreds of millions of dollars?
Somalians from Minnesota have been accused of running a multi-billion-dollar Medicaid fraud. The Somalians who are doing this fraud, they would try to get the other Somalians to diagnose their kids as having autism, even if they don't. So that would go on for many, many years, and they would collect benefits from Medicaid to specific providers. Most of that money was sent back to Somalia. Somalia has one of the highest remittances rate of about 40%.
That's crazy.
Of their economy. So yeah, no wonder like Somalia, there have been brand new luxury apartments popping up in Mogadishu and all that stuff.
So this is a video that I do actually have coming up directly for you guys. So this is why there's going to be like a lot of different cuts directly in there, because I wanted things to line up and match up with what it was that each and every content creator was saying for the clips that I was able to find. The other thing that I want to highlight as well too, as this African man is saying, the fact that the Somalians get money from the United States, the ones that are here get money from the United States, and they send it back home, which then enables the country, right, to build up all of these buildings. Now, notice how they want to send money back home, but yet all of these Africans never want to help build up the Black communities here, even though they make sure to counterfeit their way here. They want to masquerade as Black Americans. They want to match in. They want to have a, you know, I guess you could say like a stereotypical standard, you know, Black accent or Black scent, right? They want to wear the clothes. They want to be a part of, you know, the culture. They want to talk the lingo. They want to do everything that we basically do. But when it comes to actually supporting us, they're nowhere to be found. But they'll make sure to support themselves and support home. This is why I told a lot of Black Americans that if you happen to be very specifically, right, if you're a Black American and you are in, let's say, an interracial relationship, that person that you are in that relationship with is always going to play for home. You got to understand that. Look at how the Africans are doing here. They're not playing for the United States. Black Americans, no matter how it is that we get treated, we still play for the United States. We still wear that jersey. We're still here every single day, still surviving, still living, right? This is home. This is not their home. They're telling you where their home is because they're sending money back there. So can't no African sit up there and tell me like, oh yeah, you know, America, you know, it's my home. And no. You don't have two homes. You only got one. You think you slick. But like I said, everything is going to catch up with you. Y'all think it's a game out here. Y'all think that y'all can scam and swindle the United States government? Y'all lucky y'all don't get thrown in prison. But, you know, they're gonna do you one better. They're going to send you back. So a lot of you Somalians and Nigerians, y'all about to be going right there back. And you'll be able to type from, you know, whatever, you know, Wi-Fi, you know, that you can do if you can find the electricity. You know, potentially dealing with brownouts and things of that nature. Also, on top of the fact, remember I brought you guys a live stream within that live stream, a video where a Black American went to Africa and he had bought up some land, but as Donnie and Timeout had basically stated, you can only lease the land. You can't buy the land. You can lease the land over there in Africa for 50 years. Once that timeline is basically up, it's back to the Africans. It goes back to them. And the homes or whatever that he built there, all of that stuff was getting bulldozed. You know what the Africans, the native Africans were doing as his homes were lying there in ruin? They were going through their pillaging. They were seeing what it is that they could take. They didn't feel sorry for him. They wasn't trying to sit up there and help him out. They wasn't trying to speak or represent him. They was like, oh, yo, it's tough that, your homes got, demolished, but let me see if I can get that flat screen TV directly up off you real quick. Oh, that's a toaster oven. Let me sit up there and take that too. Oh, that's a picture of MJ. Got a slight little tear in it. Oh, I'm gonna pick that up and take that too. And you literally saw these Africans in the video going directly to the rumbles. I say rumbles, rummaging, through, whatever was there. So, like I said, don't ever get it misconstrued. For the Black Americans, don't get it misconstrued. These folks do not like you. They do not love you. They will have you there as long as you are useful. The moment of time that you are no longer useful, they're going to pack you up. And again, for Black Americans, there is no protections over there in Africa for you at all. Notice how Africans can come over here and they have protections to an extent. But we're at a point in time, have Africans really created protections and laws and rules and regulations in order to protect Black Americans who are coming directly over there to potentially even stay and live there for the rest of their lives? Just saying. Like I said, if Africans really wanted Black Americans over there, they would make sure that we would have everything, including a safety net, so that it would be possible. But they're not doing that because they don't care about that. They want us over there for the money, but they don't actually want us over there. So let's continue.
There's also a neighborhood in Nairobi called Eastling that has been developing very fast. They have a lot of luxury apartments owned by Somalians, and it's a majority Somalian neighborhood. All that is about to go away now.
There's no allyship when they taking advantage of all these government assistance programs. HUD, public housing, they're not going to let you in their building that they're in. And these are the same people that will tell you, if you Black American Somalians will say, hey, my people came over here in planes and your people came over here in shackles and chains. Keep that same energy. I respect that. Since me and my peoples came over here in shackles and chains in a ship, I'm porting my ship right here. This is where I'm going to port my ship. Don't use Black as a race card. Don't use Black when it's beneficial. Keep that same energy. You not Black, you Somalians. You not Black, you Nigerians. Keep that same energy. Because when it's time to benefit off these government programs, like housing, all that stuff, they lock other people out. They don't care about nobody else but their own people.
I keep screaming this from every mountaintop I can. That's Hassan Ali, and this is Ilhan.
So let me just pause this real quick. So what's going to happen for the people listening, you may have to turn up your phones. I mean, we do have the captures directly underneath. I didn't actually think that the video was going to be this low, because when I initially heard it, it wasn't that low, but maybe my sound was up a little bit more. So for this clip, you're going to have to turn this up or just pay very close attention to the captions.
Omar. We know who Ilhan Omar. Hassan is the president or prime minister of Somalia. They had a roundtable meeting with nothing but Africans talking about getting in to American politics, but understanding that they are 100% Somalian and they will never change. Now, in this clip that I'm about to show, Mr. Ali, Hassan Ali, is talking, and he's letting it be known that Ilhan Omar is there to take a Black American seat in Congress.
It is very important in Ilhan tayo, Somali tayo, meeshas nagu jiro. Qofki Soomaaliya oo aragtidiisu tahay nin madow ha qaato kursigaas ama qof cad ha qaato qof mool. Marka taas waa lagu dhiirigelinayaa sababtaan arrinkaasi kuu soo celinaya insha Allah Soomaalida waa u sheegay.
They are not here to be our friends. They are not here to fight for all black people. They are here to fight for Somalians.
So let's just go back there real quick. So I think I might have, maybe it might have been was it possibly last year? Because I think I did hear something about this, rumblings about this before, or maybe it might be deja vu or something. But basically, in the clip that you probably weren't really able to hear, he was stating, the bald guy that you see there was basically saying that Ilhan Omar was there to take the political seat away from Black Americans so that she can represent Somalians and do for Somalians. So this is why I keep trying to tell a lot of Black Americans directly out here, a lot of these Africans, they do not care about you. They're here to take. They'll decide to, like, oh, we're going to sit up there and match in. We're going to use, as Donnie said, we're going to use the race card and say that we're Black. We've been subjugated. We've gone through these things, the same things that Black America. They'll try to do this side by side thing, while at the same time use underhanded tactics in order to take things away from us. Now, right, we didn't heard a Haitian dude sit up there and say that he was like, yo, I'm taking jobs from Black Americans. What you going to do about it? You got a Somalian right here that is sitting up here saying, we put one of our own directly up here through the ranks to take a seat away from you Black Americans, because we need that seat for our people so we can represent us and get the stuff that we need, that we want. We don't care what you need and want, Black Americans. We're going for us. And on top of that, this is why you see a lot of these same folks that come from all over that are quote unquote melanated, and they get directly in office. And when the talks of reparations come directly up, they end up being the gatekeepers. They're like, oh no, Black Americans, they don't need reparations. What was that one dude? The I think he's like from the Caribbean, Byron James, whatever the dude name is. I think he got like a white wife or whatever it is. That dude right there was on the Breakfast Club talking about that, Black Americans don't need, reparations. He was like, my family is this, that, and the third, and there's many other, Black immigrants here, and how would this be dispersed and all? Like, dog, this don't got nothing to do with you. This don't got nothing to do with you. Wherever you come from, go talk to the UK. Go talk to like Europe, France, whoever it was that put y'all in some type of slavery chains or whatever. Go talk to those folks directly up over there, up yonder, across the ocean. Go have that conversation. Like I said, when you saw him, he had the fresh lineup and everything. I'm like, that's real Black American. It's real Black American like. Like I said, you made sure to sit up there and play this real safe. What is it? Byron Daniels. Thank you. It's like, yo, this is what I be talking about. They try to match in and masquerade as us, and then as soon as they get that position, that little position of power, now they're talking about, oh, I'm West Indian, I'm Caribbean, I'm Haitian, I'm Jamaican, I'm Kenyan, Somalian, Ethiopian, Nigerian. Oh, but I thought we was all Black though. I thought we was all Black. And then they'll be like, oh no, my people, like the girl said earlier, oh, my people were never slaves. Crazy work. Like I said, everybody want to sit up there and throw shots at Black Americans. They all want to throw shots at Black Americans because the real thing is they know better. Because none of those folks, especially the Africans, they would never throw shots at white folks. They would never throw shots at Europeans. They would never do it. Because they have a strong fear. They've been taught to fear. Like I said, I told y'all before, for many years, one of the strongest weapons that man has ever learned how to wield is fear. And if you want to know what that looks like, look at Africans. Like I said, that's a clear case in point difference when it deals with Black Americans and Africans. We are 1,000% outspoken, and we've always been outspoken. No matter what we've gone through, no matter what lives that we've lost, we've always been outspoken against this nation, country, government, ruling class, whatever you want to sit up there and call it. Africans, nah. They really just now started, trying to get a voice, realistically. Like I said, look at South Africa. And I did a live stream and a video directly on that, going over all of the laws that they had during the apartheid, and a lot of which ended during the early 90s. And I think one of them, might have ended about like 96. That's crazy to have apartheid laws going on that long. Matter of fact, I got a picture of an African woman, literally a maid on her knees in a white home in the 80s, while you see the white woman and her child on the couch smiling, taking a picture. I'm like, huh? I'm like, how y'all let that happen? Africans, how y'all let that happen? That's crazy. And you got the nerve to come over here and talk about Black Americans, knowing that how y'all were living, it ain't that far ago. The 80s and the 90s ain't that long ago. It ain't that long ago. You can throw a stone and go right back there. But it's amazing how people forget. It is amazing how people forget. Or better yet, how people want to try to rewrite their history. His story. So because Africans can't really tell you their history, their story, they come over to the United States and try to make a brand new one. And then they look at Black American culture and everything that we've done, and they try to sit up there and link directly to it. Oh, your hairstyles, that comes, from us Africans. Oh, the way that you dance, that comes from us Africans. Oh, your soul food, that comes from us Africans. Everything that you do, your inventions, that comes from us Africans. No, I'm sorry. We got two different things going on here. Like I said, if you got the greatest of the greatest inventions, then that would be shown directly over there in Africa and would have been being shown, but it's not. We got tons of beautiful, brilliant, intelligent Black inventors, past, present, and future, and a lot of which are unknown because we had a lot of inventors during slavery. But because those slaves were property, they weren't able to claim their inventions. Therefore, that slave that belonged directly to that white man, so does that invention. And that invention went directly to the white man, and the white man went right to the patent office and he patented that invention and took all the money, glory, and claim directly from it, while the slave was left with nothing. Shout out to Jack Daniels and many others. But like I said, people want to sit up there and try to play Black Americans like we don't do nothing. We don't move nothing. We don't invent nothing. All right. Let's keep going.
They are not here to be our friends. They are not here to fight for all Black people. They are here to fight for Somalians.
So why you yelling allyship now?
And now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at that's. I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing.
Woo! Let me go back there. Hold on. Whoa. What'd that man say? Hold on.
And they contribute nothing.
And they contribute nothing. Said that the welfare is 88% Somalians, Africans. What's going on? What's going on? And to anybody that think that I'm automatically like a Republican or whatever it is, whatever you need to sleep at night, I will be that. I will be the greatest villain that you've ever seen in your life. I will be worse than the father that abandoned you or that beat you when he's drunk. So, like I said before, for the Africans, what y'all doing? I thought y'all were just all geniuses, scholastic scholars. You were just wizards in mathematics and science, and you were the greatest physicists, astrophysicists, chemists. Why would the welfare be like 88%? Why would you be taking all of these billions of dollars scamming the system? You got both Trump talking about it, and you got one of your African brothers talking about it. So if you're going to call somebody a liar, I mean, I guess you got a 50-50 shot, but somebody in there is telling the truth. So good luck. You're still going to be losing. Like, how does this work for the Africans out there? I'm like, how does this work? So Minnesota is supposed to be your promised land, but the promised land that you're on, you're scamming. Huh? And then if it's your promised land, why would you come here and scam and then send money back to the home that's not yours or that wasn't intended for you? Like, that's a little bit, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. That's some diabolical work. So you said that I'm believing the president of the United States lies. So if I go back, hold on, I got you, no problem. So where we at? I'm at like 4 minutes and 24 seconds in this video. No problem, brother. Right? You said that Trump was lying. Okay. So let's take a look at this African brother. So who is this right now? Xavier, right? So this is just a reply to Xavier. So mods, don't ban him, don't put him into the shadow realm. So Xavier, if you're still here, I want you to pay attention, right? So I just literally said that you got a 50% chance of knocking one of these videos directly out. But even with that 50% chance, somebody here is telling the truth. So you said Trump, the white man, is lying, right? No problem. So we want to listen to an African talk about his African people. So I want you to tell me if he's lying, right? Let's listen to this.
Somalians from Minnesota have been accused of running a multi-billion-dollar Medicaid fraud. The Somalians who are doing this fraud, they would try to get the other Somalians to diagnose their kids as having autism, even if they don't. So that would go on for many, many years, and they would collect benefits from Medicaid to specific providers. Most of that money was sent back to Somalia. Somalia has one of the highest remittances rate of about 40% of their economy. So yeah, no wonder like Somalia, there have been brand new luxury apartments popping up in Mogadishu and all that stuff. There's also a neighborhood in Nairobi called Eastlink that has been developing very fast. They have a lot of luxury apartments owned by Somalians, and it's a majority Somalian neighborhood. All that is about to go away now.
So Xavier, so you said Trump, you said the white man was lying. All right, cool. So is this African lying? He put pictures of these areas that are being built up. He said the remittance, which is the money that the Somalians get in the United States that's being sent back home, is being used to build up these areas quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then we had a previous Somalian man that basically said that Minnesota was promised land to Somalians 3,000 years ago, and that if the United States, the government, tried to do anything to get the Somalians up out of here, that something bad will happen. So who's lying? Who's lying? Let me know. We got 3 videos here. Let me know who is lying here. You can't say that everybody's lying. You already said one person was lying. So that means that the other 2 videos are true, which are both from Africans. Or are we going to say that those are magically some xenophobic paid actors by way of Russia through China, CIA by way of the United States, in order to send out disinformation to Black Americans so that it could cause a further divide in between Black Americans and Africans, because we're really brothers and sisters coming directly from the same land, the same tree, the same heritage, the same roots. Because the white man don't want us to be together because they understand how powerful we are when we together, and they understand how weak we are when we separate. So what we doing? What we doing? What we doing? What we doing? Let me know. Let me know. Take your pick. You got 3 videos directly up there. We'll even put the Trump video directly back up there. Who is the liar? Who's telling the truth? And who's telling the lies? Let me know. So now we switching. So now you're like, okay, all I'm saying is that Trump has a history of lying about this stuff. Okay, cool. So you got a problem with the Trump video. All right, cool. So that's out. That's out of there. So what do you got to say about the other two videos? The other two Africans, what do you have to say about them? What do you have to say about them? Tell me the lies that he just told. Break that video down for me, or do I got to replay it again for everybody to listen again for the third time? Because I'm waiting for you to tell me that these Africans are lying. You said the white man is lying. Cool. Are the Africans lying? Are they Russian, United States CIA, Chinese spy operatives? Like, let me know. Impart some wisdom on me. Let me know. Let me know. Like I said, this is why I love doing live streams. this is why I love doing live streams. It's always fun. Like, it's crazy when, let me see. Is it? You don't know about the other two for sure. So that sounds like to me, since you can't seem to question it, that they're telling the truth. So if they're telling the truth, would that then also give some validity to what Trump basically stated? Because this African here sat up there and said the exact same thing. But the difference is in between him and Trump is that he sat up there and showed you pictures and named the areas that are being built up and told you about the remittance, which is the money that Somalians get in the United States that's being sent back home. Even though Somalians said that that's not their real home, that Minnesota is their real. I ain't never in my life, I've never heard an African say that a state in the United States is their real home. That's crazy. So what, the United States basically so long time ago, the European man just decided to come into America, saw some Somalians in Minnesota out of all the states, skipped the 13 colonies. He saw Minnesota. He was like, you know what? I don't think those Africans are supposed to be here. I think they got lost. Let's get some boats and ship them back. And we're going to call these people Somalians and send them back to Somalia. That's what we're going to do. I got to find a history book on that one, because that seems like a very interesting tale that they did, like some reverse triangular slave trade type stuff. It's like, we don't even want the Somalians as slaves. We just going to send them over there to the dark continent. We're just going to pick them up and send them to the dark continent. That's crazy. You said that's a wild claim, and like I said, I don't know about the particular. So hold on. If you don't know about the particular stuff, how do you then question what Trump said? If you got an African here stating what Trump stated, and you just said that you got a problem with what Trump stated because you said that he's a liar. So if Trump said the same thing that this African said, then they both should be liars by what you said earlier. But you said now you don't know anything about the particulars. I'm a little bit confused. So he said, I'm also not Somali, so a lot of stuff is new to me. Jesus Christ. It's amazing how people can be so sure at one moment in time, and then it starts going down to like, yeah, I don't really know nothing about this stuff. Huh? You seems so sure earlier. You got two people saying the exact same thing, but one is a liar and the other one you're not too sure about. You don't even know what to question it. You ain't even going to try to Google check nothing. ChatGPT, AI, something. It's like, I'm just going to let that be. I'm not going to question. I'm not going to say if it's true or not. It's just going to be there. But that Trump thing, yeah. That got to be the lie. That's crazy. Yo, That's crazy. That is diabolical in nature. That is diabolical in nature. Matter of fact, Xavier, where do you hail from? As a matter of fact, because you said that you're not Somali. So where do you specifically hail from? Your nation, place of origin, bloodline wise. I got to break it down bloodline wise because a lot of people that's in the United States, they'll be like, well, you are Nigerian. Ah. So how long have you been on this live stream? Because I've been talking quite a bit about Nigerians and the slick commentary that have come directly from your people. You say you've been a long time fan, eh? Much appreciation. So as a Nigerian, how do you feel about what Nigerians have to say that are both outside of the United States and inside the United States? What do you feel about the rhetoric that they have to say about Black Americans? Because let's see, can I go back to that girl's video? Where was it? Where was she at? We had her at. Yeah, let me go back to her real quick. Hold on.
Y'all really gotta hear me out. Why do Black people get so mad? Like, I'm talking about not African people. I'm talking about Black Americans. Why do y'all get so offended when Africans say that y'all are descendants of slavery and descendants of the white man penetrating y'all's family? Like, why does that bother y'all so bad? Like, that's what happened. That's the truth. And when you come with a bitch like me, that my descendants wasn't slaves and didn't come from slavery, nigga, at all, and I'm not penetrated by I'm like a full-bred Nigerian girl. Like, y'all got all these different, like, how, you know how they be breeding dogs and y'all are mutts. Y'all are mutts. Like, why does that piss y'all off? Y'all got everything in y'all. Y'all a little bit Ireland. Y'all a little bit Cameroon. Might have some Nigerian in you because, you know, we was the ones selling the people. Why does that piss y'all off so, like, why does history piss y'all off so bad? That's the truth.
Right? So you said you saw the video earlier today and that was messed up. So explain to me, right? You say you don't agree with it at all, and that's wrong. Now, it's cool. It's very great that you disagree with that. Now, explain to me, because I'm, as a Black American, right? For me, I've never had a problem realistically, lifetime wise, with Africans up until we really got to this point where social media, the internet, and all of different types of Africans and folks from the Caribbean and also Asians all wanted to pile on and start saying all of this stuff about, Black Americans. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of insight on why it is that you got Nigerians out here wanting to talk so slick about Black Americans. Let me know. Let me know. D Money was like, did she just call me a mutt? Yeah, she did. Yeah, anybody that's Black American, that's exactly what she called us. It'd be like that. That's what I want to know. I want to know where all of this hatred for Black Americans comes from. Because I'm like, that's crazy to me. And she said that wholeheartedly. Oh, that's a great pause picture right there. I got to leave that one up. Xavier said, I don't really understand it either. A big part of it is misinformation and ignorance. It got to be more than that. That's way too simple. It got to be something deeper than that. It got to be something deeper than that. Because it gets to a point, it's like, all right, if people were just cracking jokes, all right, cool. right? But now it's beyond the whole thing of like it appearing to be jokes, and it's realistic, it's serious, because there's a multitude, and I'm talking about from other countries directly out there that are repeating the exact same things, along with using slurs to specifically speak on Black Americans. And I'm like, if it was not for Black Americans, no Africans or anybody else would even be able to come here and live peacefully. It's like, to me, that's crazy. Yo, Trees, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said, silly woman, we are not offended by your slavery, by our slavery. Many mutts are more resilient than pure breed, where interbreeding occurs, but her Nigerian intellect cannot comprehend. Much love, respect, and appreciation to Trees Like Flower. What is up? What is up? You said, I do know that it seems like it is mostly online. Well, see, the other form of disrespect comes in where you have a lot of Africans that come into the United States and they don't want to stick out like a sore thumb, so they try to cosplay as Black Americans, right? So they get the whole fashion down, the haircut, they get the accent or black scent, fashion, the whole thing with the rapping, right? I'm pretty sure. Does anybody remember Grooving Gorilla or Gorilla Groove or whatever it is? That's a Nigerian last time, if I remember correctly, or African. And that guy tends to act like a clown. He's a big muscle bound dude, and he decides that all he wants to do is dance goofy, and he wants to just eat food. And then he did another, and then because Black Americans were telling him like, "Yo, your name is offensive. Like, why would you call yourself a gorilla?" I'm like, "Do you not know the history of the United States when it deals with Black Americans and the names that we were called and different things of that nature?" So he sat up there. He did change it, but he's still going out there bucking his eyes, dancing for white people, doing all of like this Bojangle Zatarans, all that type of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no, and I tend to see a lot of Africans doing that. I'm like, I don't really see Africans doing that in Africa, but I see a lot of Africans doing all of that dancing and showing and sparkly jazz hands type of stuff when they're in the United States. And especially when people can't really tell if they're African or Black American. I noticed that a lot. You say, yeah, I've seen that too. And believe it or not, Nigerians also shame them. Yeah, it's not enough for me. I just as loud as I hear Africans coming directly through here talking about Black Americans this, Black Americans that, not educated, no degrees, no money, and all this stuff. As loud as Africans want to be on that, I need them to be 1,000 times loud when it deals with a lot of these Africans coming over here clowning and buck dancing, eye bucking, doing all the shucking and jiving. I need that exact same thing to be taking place, but it doesn't. And I'm talking about with the volume, with the loudness. Because I'm like, that's crazy to me. Because when it deals with Black Americans, and we just so happen to see somebody doing something crazy outside, like, yo, we calling it out. We're on social media at least within 5, 10, 30 minutes, or maybe even like the next day, somewhere within 24 to 48 hours, we're online calling that person out. We're clowning them. Like this is exactly what we are doing. Like I said, I need people to be moving that quick. I don't got people to be slow-mos directly out here moving backwards in time. I don't got time for that. I do not got time for that. Because like I said, that is crazy. Then what was the other kid that they had directly up there? I'm sorry, the young dude, not even a kid. He was sitting up there eating like some chicken or something like that. And then Gorilla Group, I think he did do a video where he was eating watermelon or something. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, you can't make this. Like I say, he must be getting paid a large sum of money from white people. That check must be looking great. Because I know for him at the end of the day, he's like, well, I can act like this because I'm Nigerian. So this don't affect me. I'm like, woo. Like I said, this is why delineation has to take place, and it is needed. Because everybody has their respective cultures, everybody got their respective homes. I at no point in time as a black American would ever pull up to the scene in any country and try to act African and do the most stereotypical. I'm not about to have like a lip ring, a bone through my nose. I'm not about to sit up there and what's that alliance cloth, whatever that is. I'm not about to be trying to fly through there with Tarzan and with a spear in my hand. I'm not about to be doing none of those stereotypes just to sit up there and get a check. But when it deals with everybody else and they can make money at the expense of black Americans, people are like, okay, I'll do it. Where do I sign? Like I said, black Americans are so nice. Like we really do not return the same energy that everybody gives to us. If we did, oh dear Lord, help the world. People would have to pray that there is a God to save them. If black Americans put forth the same energy that we put directly into our culture, if we put that same energy into get back, oh, it's over for everybody. It is going to be a nonstop show. And people are just going to have to deal with it. People are going to be walking around mad. Like I said, you already saw how white people were mad when Dave Chappelle was acting like a white newscaster. Like, yo, it was crazy. Some crazy work. Diabolical nature. White people are losing their minds. Then when you had the weigh-in sitting up there doing it, was like, oh my God, this is whiteface. There's no such thing as whiteface. Whiteface is a mountain somewhere out yonder, but there's no such thing, historically speaking, as whiteface. Nor is it racist. People are putting on makeup. It's not the same thing as blackface. Two different things, historically speaking. Crazy work. Panther Jones, what is up? What's up? You said I have a serious question. How do you think Black Panther 3 is going to do since the delineation? Black Panther 1 made over $500 million domestically from Black Americans. It's still going to make money. Black Panther's still going to make money. It's still going to pull in money. Like I said, everything that is going on that we currently talk about at this moment in time, it's like when it deals with certain things, it's sort of almost like a gray area. Well, at least for me, I can't speak for anybody else. For me, when it deals with very certain things. And the reason why I say that is because the imagery of the positive imagery, at least of a quote unquote black superhero, right? We don't have Spawn. Well, Spawn is an anti-hero, right? We don't got Spawn out there. We don't really got Black Lightning. Black Lightning, that was on CW, but that got canceled. We don't have Static Shock, and I'm not sure when we're going to get Static Shock. The most recent one that we got at this moment in time is Mr. Terrific. We don't even have a John Stewart because they screwed up that whole thing dealing with the CW. So we saw where that went. All of this build up to basically make what was it, Dingle, basically Green Lantern, and this dude was like, I don't want it, and then the ring in the box just like disappeared. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't even know what y'all were doing. I'm like, that was just trash. I'm like, all right. Somebody severely fumbled directly on that one. Severely fumbled. Like that dude, his trajectory career-wise could have been vastly different if it would have been well written and they would have stayed consistent and they would have made him into a Green Lantern. Or like somebody else stated, they could have had an alternate version of Dingle that did accept the ring. So therefore you do have the Green Lantern. This dude was still harping on like, yo, man, every which future I looked into, it led me away from my family, and this is where I want to be. So the one time that you want to show a black man actually potentially being a hero, you're like, no, the one thing that's holding back is his family. This is the one time that y'all want to make a black man a family man. That's crazy. But the killing part is every other superhero had a family. Clark, the guy who played Superman on the CW, the dude had a whole family. He got his 2 sons and he got his wife. He was able to juggle both. But magically, when it deals with a black dude that's about to get the power of gods, no, I can't handle this. I'm just going to be with my family. I give it up. What? How do you give up something you never had? That's wild to me. Like I said, they do this on purpose. Like I said, they do this on purpose. They didn't want to sit up there and showcase or go through the other extent of having another black superhero and potentially having a popular show. So they cut that short. You said we still didn't get Blade. I mean, technically. I mean, well, the main drafts when they dealt with Blade were looking a little bit iffy. They were throwing a lot of stuff in there that didn't make sense. They were going to make in one of the drafts. I remember hearing about that Blade was going to be a side character and that it was going to be his daughter and 2 other girls, basically like a femme fatale type of thing. And I'm like, this is a Blade film. No disrespect to the imaginary character of his daughter, but nobody cares about you. We're looking for Blade. That's like giving a Spawn series, and I'm thinking about seeing Al there and him going through the pits of hell and fighting the Vindicator and all this other type of stuff, and they're like, no, we're going to showcase daughter as as the new Spawn. Don't nobody care about that. I want to see Al Simmons as Spawn, the black man who basically started that. I want to see him there and him battling through all of this heaven and hell and everything of the sort. I'm not trying to see no kids. You can send that way later down the road. Like I said, they just they messing up a lot of stuff. They messing up a lot of stuff. It's crazy work. You said Mr. Terrific is played by an African. It'd be like that. I mean, that's the same guy who played Darwin, and they killed off Darwin, which Darwin is technically close to one of the most unkillable mutants because he can adapt to anything. And you had Kevin Bacon basically kill him off. He was like, let me heat up this orb with this energy. Adapt to this. What? And I think what was he playing as? I think he played as was it Sebastian Shaw? I forgot what it was. But I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So you got the white dude take out the black character, and then you got Magneto, who survived the Holocaust, taking him out. All right. Okay. That's how we're gonna play this. Okay. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Oh my goodness. That was diabolical. Wait, it got me cursing everything he was. Wait, Shan, what you talking about? Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me roll back. Wait. Yeah, what's up, K5? What is up? What is up? What is up? Somebody said, yeah, I got civil rights without it. Pink said, as Seji, what did you do to the Nigerian chick with a pink bonnet to make her buck her eyes so hard? No, that was just a perfect freeze right there. I had to leave it there. That was just a very perfect freeze. Okay, he said, Xavier said, I'm B1 and I do my part to try and educate my people. Let me see. K5 said, yo, did you hear about the white folks being mad that the Predator is no longer white? The craziest part is it's why I'm like, first of all, every Predator has locks. Like, how many white folks walk around every single day with locks just on average in the United States? I'm not talking about some hippies. even if you deal with the hippies, you got more black folks out here with locks and twist coils than you do white folks. So it's like, okay. And then they're naturally tall. If we look through the NBA, who do we normally see that's tall and also got locks? That's very athletic, that can jump. Like, come on, like I'm not trying to stereotype characters really, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, if we're going to be, like I said, it's already enough white folks, Europeans, y'all got Tarzan, y'all got some, some brown hair, blue eyed baby, whereas parents, they're playing crash landed in the deepest, darkest jungles of Africa, and he ended up getting, chimpanzee, gorilla, orangutan type strength, and he could just do anything. And then y'all had an actual movie for Tarzan, and then you had him taking down Africans. Okay. Yo, that's crazy. And that was my dude from Amistad too. That's some wild work. That's wild. That is some wild work. Dang, Third Eye was like Black Lightning was a simp. That's crazy work. Crazy work. Montemusa said, Mr. Terrific, first time hearing about that. Who is that? Is he DC? Yeah, Mr. Terrific is DC. He is one of the world's smartest men. He is right up there. He is right up there. Let me see. Yeah, right. And he is also a part of the Justice League as well too. I want to say, I think for the James Gunn movie, it might be the Justice Society of America potentially. That they're going directly for, even though it's a little bit weird because the Justice Society that I remember, it's like, yeah, you got Superman directly in there, but you also got Alan Scott, who in a sense is a Green Lantern technically. However, they decided, I forgot how the story basically worked with his ring, but I think it was different from what's the name? And they got, Jay Garrick Flash and Sandman and different characters and whatnot. Tippy said the Violator. Big Hair said they were trying to put a lot of wrist broken stuff in Blade. Yeah, they were. Yep, yes, indeed. Diabolical work by Hackman. True. This is bars. Tippy said, I had to step away for a bit. What we talk about now. I mean, technically, we got into the whole thing dealing with comic books, even though I do still got a few videos directly left. Panther Jones said, and I heard a Nigerian is going to be the new Black Panther in part 3 after Chadwick built it. I mean, the funniest thing is, I don't know. It's like I feel half and half about it because again, of course, story, Stanley and them Marvel, and it does take place in the imaginary Wakanda, and the tribes there are African. They do have, their own dialect of which that they do speak. Storm herself, the goddess is African, Oro, right? I don't know. It's like I get it's like, yeah, it's American made, so automatically you should have a Black American playing a role. And then I can also see where people are like, well, the character is based off of Africa, off of Africans and things. Like I said, I don't know. We'll see. We will see how this basically goes. We will see how it goes. I wish, of course, I wish Chadwick was still here. Because they were also supposed to do a what if. And I think he was supposed to do that, but everything happened the way it happened, so we didn't get that. Montemosa said you talking about that one character in X-Men First Class. He was practically invincible, but they found a way to kill him. Yeah, that shouldn't have even killed him at all. Like the amount of feats that Darwin has gone through and how they've tested his mutant ability of adaptation, you would have to really go through it to like understand it. That would not have killed him. He would have just transformed into something that could just like disperse the heat or the energy or basically absorb it, sort of like Bishop. If anybody know who Bishop is, that's another character. He's able to absorb psionic, kinetic, physical energy, and he can disperse it by way of his body, and he can control it, energy manipulation, and all that other type of stuff. What was it? Sham said the dude Mike says something. Wait, something racist to D Money. Yeah, I don't think I even saw it, and I think I tried to go back up. Maybe my eyes didn't sit up there and catch it, but y'all did. Like I said, this is why I love my moderators. Y'all happen to catch a lot of stuff that I don't happen to see because I get tunnel vision and start talking about other stuff. Third, I said she looks like a runner from what's happening from the freeze frame. Yeah. Panther said the Predator is not white. Yeah, like I said, they're still on this whole thing of like, oh my God, no DEI, all that. Again, the same thing that they were talking, mid last year to the start of this year. They're still on that same exact thing. Third Eye said the first Predator was a black man. Deborah Temple said no, not rerun. Big Hair said exactly. Icon is laughing. Tippy said, LOL, honestly, this whole time of me knowing about Predator movies, I thought they were all black. I mean, yeah. I mean, the crazy part, when it deals with the aliens, you can look at the people that's underneath the costume. Crazy. They will in some way call all locks Viking braids. Yeah, that's true. And the craziest part is I have a video of a woman who is a blood descendant of Vikings, and she's calling out the white girls, talking about those are not even Viking braids. Those are not even braids of her culture. Like their braids are vastly different. Like it's like I said, it's crazy. It is. I'll have to really go back to get that video too. Panther said exactly the actor who was in the Predator suit for the first movie was a black man in real life. Tippy said, I thought it was confirmed when Predator didn't unalive Sanaa Lathan. That's back when you had like what the Predalien or whatever it was. Xavier said Ella Scott was the one that had to recharge the ring with the lamp. I mean, they all have to use a lamp, a power lamp, but I think how his happened was a little bit different. But I'm also mad at DC because during a stint in the 2000s, they decided to magically make Alan Scott gay for whatever reason, which didn't make any sense. And then Marvel did the exact same thing with Iceman, which didn't make any sense. I'm like, you're doing all of these changes to characters, and it's not like those changes are really pushing the story forward. They actually did the same thing with Captain America, but it was like a future kid Captain America, right? It was supposed to be like the newer generation of heroes, and Marvel was just doing a whole bunch of stuff with that newer generation, and that flopped. When I mean it flopped, I'm talking about it didn't even go like foil. It didn't even go plastic. Like it was bad. And that got canceled and scrapped quick, fast, and in a hurry. And rightfully so. Because I'm like, they're doing too much. Most said Kevin Peter Hall is the original Predator. Let me see. Tippy said, wait, so the original Predator was a black man? Why are they mad about it? Because they don't want to see anybody black on screens. And this is why I look at a lot of these movies that are coming out right now where let's say if it's back in like medieval days, I'm like, white people, go make all of y'all movies $1 billion because y'all don't have no black folks or whatnot in there or very little. Make sure that those movies get $1 billion, right? And y'all can have all these sequels out here, but they don't do it. Like I said, like it's the craziest thing. Like they complain, quote unquote, about diversity, but then when they get movies that have zero diversity in it, they don't make sure that those are $1 billion. But then when we got movies, like Black Panther and all these other types of like Marvel films or whatnot or whatever, where there's diversity obviously present, they make a whole bunch of money. It's crazy work, diabolical. Panther Jones said the comic was made in America for Black Americans and white Americans. Black Panther was made for Black Americans. No, that's true. That's true, just like Luke Cage and a few others directly up there. I would also throw for DC, if people don't know about him, go look up Icon. Technically, Icon is an alien. He's an albino alien, but he landed during a time of slavery. And one of the women on a plantation basically took in Icon and raised him. And what he did was he morphed into the people that he was around, which was basically the black slaves. So Icon actually was here for a very long time as an alien. And that's basically the main form that he took. So when you look at Icon, you'll see a black man. And if you also look up the history of Icon, in one of the comics, Superman said that at that time, Icon was one of the hardest people that he was hit by. So that lets you know how, and they're both aliens, right? But that lets you know how strong Icon is. Tippy said, "Are they pissed about Avatar? That's based off of a tribe culture in Africa." They can't be mad about Avatar, because if you look at the brand new trailer, the main villain has a Avatar body, and now that whole start of like war amongst themselves, it is now really going to start to happen. Like I said, it's crazy. As soon as I saw that dude, I was like, "That's him." I'm like, "How did y'all let this happen?" I'm like, "That's crazy." I mean, I may have to. I got to catch up on the previous movie, but yeah. Warrior Woman said there are 6 places called Wakanda in the Americas. Panther Jones said, and Wakanda is an America in real life. Icon FBA said, no Panthers in the continent of Africa. Third Eye said Darwin would be a cross between Lobo, Deadpool with regeneration wise. Yeah. Yeah. The only difference is like Lobo, he can, with one, his whole body can be gone, but if he has one drop of blood, he would just, automatically, sprout multiple, Lobos or a whole brand new body. It's crazy that in order for him to be the immortal that he is, he had to take out his whole civilization because that was his weakness. His own people were basically the weakness to him. So in order for that not to be a weakness, he took out his whole planet, even though Lobo has a daughter. So technically his daughter could actually take him out. Nobody else can, but his daughter can. Tippy said, I like Geras from Mortal Kombat, but I hate that a white woman has full control over. Oh, you talking about Chronica? I know you're talking about. Enlightened said white people want to be the face of Predator because they are aliens themselves. Ooh, Reptile, get over here. Montemusa said Bishop got introduced in X-Men Days of Future Past. Definitely a good movie. Yeah, but my introduction to Bishop came from the original cartoon series. So that for me, that's where I first learned about Bishop. Like, oh, so I'm like, yo, this dude is dumb. I'm like, all right. And then of course you have Forge up there, who is Native American, and many other characters. What was it? Tippy said, yeah, I did. Oh, you talking about Mortal Kombat. Big Hair said, LOL. Predator gave Sanaa Lathan a straight up fist bump. Yeah. That should have told people right there. Third Eye said why people forgot about Danny Glover solo Predator 2. Now I ain't forget. Montemusa said harder than Doomsday. I mean, well, Superman said that was the hardest puncher. I mean, you can go back if you can find a quote directly from the comic. You can correct me, if I'm wrong. But that's at least what I can remember, unless we're going through like a Mandela effect. What we got? Icon said, yep, I love superheroes. Icon from Milestone Comics. And that's another thing too. Also, and I told people about this before, and I did do a live stream about Milestone Comics. Go check out Milestone Comics. All black everything. Black writers, black artists, all of it. Dope. That's where we got Static X, aka Static Shock, directly from. Panther said, I like Lobo. Icon said Lobo's dope. Xavier said, can't wait for the Lobo movie. Oh, yeah, you got what's his name? Aquaman. I forgot to do the actor's name. But yeah, he fits that's going to be his role. Like Aquaman, that was cool. That was cool to, have him, Jason Momoa. That's what it was. It was cool to have him as Aquaman. I'm pretty sure the funniest thing is people forget before he started severely working out as I want to call it. Alan Richardson was the original Aquaman. That was the first Aquaman that we had on a TV series, at least of recent times. I can't tell you nothing about like the 70s and nothing like that, because you had Spider-Man, Thor, the Incredible Hulk, and Spider-Woman and stuff like that. But Alan Richardson, who is Jack Reacher, was the original Aquaman back on Smallville. And because of how big he is right now, I can't really see him as Aquaman. He would, if anything, he would have to be like Hercules or something. He would have to be some other swole character, because it wouldn't be working as Aquaman. That dude looked like a straight Olympian out here. That dude is jacked for no reason. Like he needs to be in a superhero film. Xavier said Doomsday killed Superman, so technically that would be the hardest hit he ever took. LOL. I mean, I did say during the time, and I'm not sure if. Well, I would have to sit up. Which Superman would that be? Because we got different ones directly out here. Well, different Earth Superman. So I don't know. And also, Icon was in the Justice League television in the cartoon, Justice League Unlimited. Just in case people never saw him. Monza said I like Cyborg, but was confused how he was portrayed in the Snyder cut of the Justice. I mean, it wasn't bad. When you look at the full 4, I think it was like 4 to 4. Can't get my words right. When you look at the full 4 to 5 hour movie with everything in there, it was fine. It wasn't bad at all. It was not bad at all. Like everything was actually more fleshed out than when Josh Whedon got control, which again, I don't know why you would have somebody from Marvel get control of any property of DC. That's just, a disaster. Like you just don't do that. I mean, except in a case when it deals with, James Gunn actually caring about the property work and doing research and things. Josh Whedon didn't care about nothing. Jason Momoa is the perfect casting for Lobo. Yep. Yeah. He's gonna be better as Lobo. Yep. That was on Smallville. Correct. Tippy said that fits him perfectly. Lord, of course, Tippy's gonna sit over and say that she liked Jason Momoa. Oh, of course. Of course. Icon said can't wait for the Lobo movie. Third said the Superman who got hit by Icon and not the one that fought Doomsday was not in the same universe continuity. If I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah, because that's what I was trying to figure out. Because I was like, what? I don't think that was the one that got taken out by Doomsday. And then the funniest thing is, you had a replay of that fight, which I did love, in Justice League Unlimited when you had Justice Lord Superman fight Doomsday again. And he was like, yeah, we're not going through this again. He was like, yeah, I could take that hit. And it's like, yeah, you're not about to do this again. Lobotomize. He was, I ain't playing no games. I'm packing you up right now. I'm packing you up. And he did that. But when Superman ended up lobotomizing Doomsday, of course, the same thing is not going to work again. And then Doomsday actually got smarter. He started to talk. And if you go from that to the future Doomsday, where he is the time trapper, and this is like eons in like the future, it's some crazy stuff. Man, some of those comics, it is crazy. It is crazy. Also, in another comic, Doomsday actually became the symbol for Superman. That was back when I forgot how they sat up there and did it, but Doomsday was like fully cognitive. He was able to think and talk and everything of the sort. It's sort of like how at a point in time Batman and Bane actually worked together, because there was a storyline where Bane was potentially a Wayne, because during the time that Bruce's father went down to South America, he might have been, seeing some people, dilly-dallying around, and potentially Bane could have been one of those children. Like I said, interesting stories directly out there. What was it? Boss said a Milestones comic movie would make all the money. The Static Shock animated series was amazing. Also, yes, it was. Khalid from Stranger Things could definitely play Static or Miles Spider-Man. I mean, he could, but the problem that people are going to have, and it's going to specifically come from the Latin community, they're going to be like, well, Miles is half and half. He's Black American and his mom is Latin, and people are going to be like, well, we should have somebody that's actually half and half, or somebody that, like I said, it'll be about. This is why I don't like characters from like two different like families. I like it to be whole, so that there is no type of fight. Like I said, in real life, if you were there during the time, Tiger Woods had white folks were trying to claim him, Asians were trying to claim him, Black Americans were claiming him. Like it was crazy. Like, because Tiger Woods was so successful and there was nothing but positivity out there, you had groups that would never normally try to claim nobody trying to claim them. Crazy stuff. And I'm talking about specifically when it deals with white and Asians. Automatically trying to claim them. Diabolical. And it also happened with another celebrity as well, too. I forgot who it was. Didn't people try to do that with Michael Jackson at one point? Because they were trying to say he's white. I'm like, no, he's not white. I'm like, I don't know where y'all got that from, but all right. Tibby said Cody Rhodes could have played as Nightwing. No, the person that could have played Nightwing was Sam. That's the person that I wanted to play Nightwing, but that was like earlier on during Supernatural. Sam could have played as Nightwing. True Judah, what is up? What is up? You said what's happening, Seji. I'm listening live from work, as most Hebrew brothers say, from the plantation. Bars, straight bars. Xavier said Doomsday is basically unstoppable. He is, except when Parallax got to him. I remember there was a book where I think Parallax sat up there and hit Doomsday with some type of laser, which basically made him nothing but bones. That took quite. Did he actually? I think, didn't the bones turn colors? Didn't they turn gold or something like that? I forgot the laser that he hit him with. Like it was almost on some Days of Future Past Wolverine, getting just like fried, type of stuff where he just did not come back. Because Forge, when that happened, Forge actually in his lab, he has Wolverine's skeleton. I'm not exactly sure why he kept Wolverine's skeleton in like a vat of water. Because I was trying to figure out, was he still alive? Was like the regenerate? I know the regeneration supposedly during that time was like slow because he was basically getting up there. He was near like the 200 mark. And also it was during a point of which he overused or potentially got close to burning out his healing factor. So yeah, but it really wouldn't be burned out if he would take out the anianium, which was causing metal poisoning to his blood, which his healing factor is continuously fighting every single. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff. Third Eye said the Time Trapper Doomsday is a crazy read. Yeah. Xavier said Doomsday was also the final boss in Injustice game, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Tippy said Doomsday with high intelligence is terrifying. Yep. Yes, indeed. Third said it was confirmed that Bane and Batman aren't brothers. Yeah, they did that. I think they found that out at the end. And Bane is actually, like I said, people don't even realize that Bane does not need the Scorpion Venom. That dude is highly he's actually better without the Venom. Which is the craziest. Like, that dude, the only thing that the Venom basically does, of course, it makes him strong and it makes him durable. So if Batman wants to do like kung fu karate kicks, it's like, yeah, no, you're hitting like steel and he's about to like break your leg. But Bane is highly capable. That dude has been highly capable since what, like the age of 8 when he got thrown in prison with the teddy bear with the knife in it. And that boy been highly capable. Panther Jones said, I feel you. Monta said, movies or TV show. Wait, which one was he talking about? Talking about Nightwing. Oh, Nightwing, Sam from Supernatural, talking about the movies. Panther said, that's a fact. And it's footage of Tiger Woods, him as a child, talking about him being the first Black American champ golfer. Yeah. Xavier said Batman and Bane were never brothers. Bane is Hispanic. No. Yeah, but the whole thing during the comic was that um not a mercenary. I forgot what it was, but Thomas Wayne basically went down to South America. So supposedly, he was soiling his royal oats, and there was a potential chance that he could have been a Wayne. And that was the whole thing that, the innocence happened. And you know how Bruce is. He's like, I believe in giving villains a second chance, and let's sit up there and go through this and see what we can sit up there and find. And that was let me tell you something. If there was ever a point in time in any type of realm or a future where you would have Batman and Bane as a team and they were fighting, it's over. What? Everybody's getting taken out. It's over. It's like Bane has like roughly close to the same mind frame as Batman when it deals with, like, Bane is a very smart tactician. Like, if people don't remember, go back and look at the comic book where Bane was introduced, and he did all of these different things in order to tire out Batman so that he can get him at his weakest. The man sat up there and came to his house and beat him down. Batman couldn't do nothing. Like, this dude was tired. He could not put up a fight worth nothing. Like, it was like, I wish that when they did the movie dealing with Bane, I wish they would have did that. They sort of kind of did it because the armory was right under where they were basically fighting. So in a sense, you could consider that the Batcave where he actually got beat down, but it's still not exactly. Like I said, I don't know. It's a lot. Icon said Asian people claiming Tiger Woods. LOL, yeah. Tippy said, who is Sam? Supernatural. Tippy said, no, Seji, Cody Rhodes could have played Nightwing. Nah. Mr. America, I can see him as something else. I can't exactly tell you right now, but I can see him as something else. Can't get my words right. Panther Jones said, how do you feel about X-Men 97? Did you see it yet? Yeah. You're talking about the new one. I know the new season is supposed to come out pretty soon, which looks great. 97 is dope. They did a good job. And you still got the tie-ins from the original season and things, and it did a good job. I like it. They did a good job. I like it. I do like it. Tippy said, I saw it and like it. It brings back memories. Enlighten said FBA will get those said powers, no specific date or time. If they try and pull some enslavement or worse, watch us. We not going through anything evil again. That's facts. Yo, what's up, Hack? Hack said, I remember that the time episode in the X-Men series in the 90s. Yep. Zeke said Nightwing is such a lame hero. I mean, I like Nightwing. And then later on, he became. It should have been him, because I know you got like 3 or 4 different. Well, technically, you got several different Robins. I want to say he should have became Red Robin, I think. But yeah. You said we need a Spawn movie. That's facts. Hack said in Bishop versus Nimrod was a cool fight. Yeah, that's, man. Nimrod is a problem. Anytime you got like a pink villain, just always note that something is going to happen. Like like I said, look at Majin Buu, pink. It don't matter what form that you went directly to. The only form that was really like next to Kid Buu, where he was like, I just don't care, was Evil Buu. That Buu just did not care. He was just like, I'm just about to do whatever I want to do. He was like, I'm going to sit up there and get you, turn you into candy, and now I'm going to turn into Super Buu. Yep. And then the craziest part is the main forms that we saw was not even his original form. His original form was Kid Buu, because the previous forms were all of the forms of him when he absorbed those Elder Kais. Crazy work. Crazy work. Tippy said Dark Knight Batman with Bane. I'm sorry, I didn't want a white dude to play him. I wanted a buff, muscular Mexican that could speak fluent. Oh, that's crazy. Tim Burton Batman did Bane dirty. Oh yeah, that Bane was just stupid. I mean, the funniest thing is I did like Arnold as Mr. Freeze just solely because of the costume. Because I'm like, that's the first time that we ever got something close to like Mr. Freeze. I'm like, that was actually pretty dope. That was actually pretty dope. And what's the name is Poison Ivy. I'm like, all right, I can see it. And then they had the trio. They had Batman, Robin, and Batgirl. Let me see. Zeke says Jamie Foxx as Spawn, like they've been saying for 10 years. I mean, I can technically, because Jamie Foxx is an actor, I can see it. I can actually see him being Spawn. I would technically want Michael Jai White to come back to the role, but I'm not sure if he would want to do it due to the fact of I think he complained about the suit or the makeup or something like that. But times are different from like 20 plus years ago, so it'll be different if they were to do the makeup or whatever now, or the suit. Zink said Bane wasn't in Tim Burton's Batman, was he? Whichever one that wasn't Val Kilmer, that was George Clooney. Whoever did George Clooney, that's where Bane was. And it was more so like a comedy, type of thing, where it was like a lot of, here and there jokes and all this other type of stuff. You had the Batman Visa or MasterCard and stuff. Crazy stuff. Tippy said exactly. He was highly intelligent. Bane is a problem, though. Bars. Tippy said only mistake they did with Bane is make him a white dude. Monta said talking about comics and whatnot while the still frame is up is not bug. Yeah, it is. It does look crazy. Tippy said, and Talia could have been played by somebody else. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Xavier said X-Men 97 was awesome. Bars. That's bars. Third Eye said Cody Rhodes could be the Earth 2 Homelander. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Mr. America. No, you know what? If Cody Rhodes was big enough, he could be Ultraman. He could be Ultraman. Potentially. Or better yet, you could have Cody Rhodes as Owlman. Either one of the two. Panther Jones said they did a good job. I like X-Men 97. Also, I can't wait for the second season. Yep. Like I said, X-Men 97 is dope. Tippy said, that's your opinion, but I like Jason Todd better. So I understand this woman. Panther said, yo, lame pink villains are the toughest. Yeah. Like I said, what happened with Goku? They had what is it, Super Saiyan Rose? Yeah, it went pink. First we had yellow, blue, we had red, and then now we got Rose. You saw what happened. But that was, because Amatsu fused with Goku's body and, all of that stuff. Xavier said any villain brave enough to be pink is definitely a problem. That's bars. Like I said, remember they had a pink Godzilla in the last movie? Yeah. Yep. And that is not going to be the last form that you will see of Godzilla. There are multi-forms directly out there. True said they should make a DC versus Marvel movie like the comic books. Marvel Comics wins. Marvel Comics are better anyway. It's different. It's like in Marvel Comics, you have men becoming gods, and then in DC Comics, you have gods trying to be men, right? So like for Peter Parker, right, that's your stereotypical nerd, and then he was basically given godlike powers, by way of, in a sense, of course, by the radioactive spider, but he's also a part of the spider totem. If you don't know what the spider totem is, look up Anansi. And it was basically stated that Anansi, the main thing of the spider totem blesses, all these different Spider-Men and whatnot, Spider-Men and women and whatever with their powers and things of that sort. So yeah. Also the spider totem storyline as well too. That's also a pretty good read as well too. If people have not seen that, Basically, Cliff Note version, it deals with a group. Did they come from the future? I forgot where they came from, but they come from some other dimension, and they basically go after these totem champions. And Spider-Man is basically the main totem that they are going directly after pretty much every and all Spider-Man throughout all dimensions. That's a pretty dope one as well too. Kane is also one of next to Scarlet Spider. Kane is one of my favorite Spider-Man. Tippy said not Jamie Foxx, Michael J. White can still play Spawn. Yep. Michael J. White will be Spawn forever. Spawn. Panther said, I think Michael B. Jordan should play a new modern day Spawn. I can see that. Because the craziest part is when you think about Al Simmons, he has a background, I think, being like a soldier, or whatnot, or whatever. So if anybody watched some of the previous films with Michael B. Jordan, he had a film basically being like a government agent. No, he was in the military. And some things basically went awry, and he had to, get some revenge. I ain't gonna try to, kill the story for people just in case they didn't see it. But I forgot the name of the movie. And at the end of that movie, it looked like it was supposed to have a part 2. But dealing with that and looking at Michael B. Jordan's acting chops, I could see him being Spawn. That would actually be, pretty dope. I can see it. I can see it. Tibby said Cody got to get bigger. He's going to be in the Street Fighter movie alongside Roman Reigns. No, I mean, Guile is not really that big. Really. Like if John Claude Van Damme was the first guy that we ever had live action movie wise. And John Claude Van Damme is not a large guy at all. But I did like him as Guile. Somersault kick, sonic boom. Yeah. If only we had Charlie. Because Charlie taught Guile. For whatever reason, they just missed the mark on that and just didn't have that directly up there. If we're going to have Akuma in there, which we're supposed to have, then we might as well have Goken and Gotetsu and have them basically fight. And you better have the fight of Akuma basically fighting Gotetsu and basically killing him, and with the no Satsui Hado and taking the beats and basically wearing those, and aka the murder intent and all that type of stuff. Like I said, hopefully they do a good job. Something similar to what they did with Mortal Kombat. Hopefully they do a good job. Hack said Ivan Ooze. Yeah. That's another character right there. Yeah, technically pink or purple, because Frieza is still a problem, even though Frieza, the slave master of the universe, is now black. It's the craziest thing I ever seen. I'm like, Frieza is the most racist villain, the most racist beloved villain I've ever seen in my life. I got a Frieza t-shirt downstairs. So and to know that he turned black is crazy. We got Black Frieza out here, right? We had Golden Frieza, and now we got Black Frieza. Black is his strongest form. Crazy work out here. It took him to become black in order to, really mess up both Vegeta and Goku. He had to get that run back after that movie. He had to get that run back real quick. And like you said, Marvel is more bright, DC is darker. I think Marvel is better at more brighter, cooler palettes, brighter colors, overall upbeat, and DC dark, gritty, sometimes horror based, and Marvel doesn't lean into horror. Yeah, that's true. They don't. The one thing I've always told people before is that Marvel is good at the live action movies, and DC is great when it deals with animated films. It hasn't been up until like recent times that Marvel has started to kind of sort of catch up to DC. But DC does an excellent job. They do an excellent job at the movies. Like I said, Flashpoint, I'm not sure if people have seen that, or the Apocalypse film. Woo. If you talking about gritty, if you talking about dark, Lord, Flashpoint is it. That is, it took me a minute. It took me a minute to get straight after that. Like the like, I don't even want to ruin it for nobody. It was bad. The best way I could put it is, if you could think of a hero movie where everything goes wrong, and then some. Like it was bad. It was bad. It would make you lose hope in everything watching that film. Man, it was just bad. Panther said, all jokes aside, how about 50 Cent playing a new Spawn? You know, the funny part is I could technically see that too. I can kind of see it. It's just the voice though. That would be the only thing that would throw me off. It would probably just be the voice, but I can see it. It could be possible. Michael B. Jordan, Curtis Jackson, or Jamie Foxx. I can see it. Or the return of Michael Jai White. I can see it. Panther said, LOL, I'm joking. I can see it though. K5, what is up? Tippy said, I don't know about Michael B. Jordan. He's not big enough, and you gotta be muscular. Wait a minute. Tippy, have you not seen that man in Creed? That dude literally worked out. Like in order to sit up there and be in a Rocky film, like you have to work. It is a must that you work out. Like that dude worked out for that film. Just like you seen Jonathan Majors. That dude got swole. Like it was crap. I'm like, dog. I'm like, when you look at Lovecraft Country and then you see Jonathan Majors and Creed, I'm like, that's two different people. Like, what happened? I'm like, brother, what regiment were you directly on? I'm like, what chicken, vegetables, and brown rice did you eat? Like, where did you get that source from? It's like, I need that. D-Money said, without remorse. Yeah. That movie was nice. I like that movie. Xavier said Michael B. Jordan would be a cool Spawn. Bot says, Seji, you should check out Absolute Batman. No, I seen Absolute Batman. And that's pretty much the best way I could put it. It's tough. Because it's like I get why they're doing it, because that's pretty much the whole like hyper, white male fantasy thing. Because I'm like, dog, I'm used to Batman being athletic. The dude can tightrope, jump building to building, or I'm even used to the Frank Miller Batman, which shout out to Ben Affleck. He basically, in a sense, played that like the hardened, grittier, more weathered, Batman in the Batman versus Superman film, where you saw him actually killing the criminals. And I'm not sure if people actually caught that. Like, those criminals were not getting up. Like, he killed them. Like, he threw one of them, he probably like a 90-pound crate. He just launched that boy directly at him. That dude cracked his head. You just saw blood. And then he was out of there. Like, he was cracking backs, snapping necks, breaking elbows and ankles. Like, he was a surgeon. Like, that's the one thing I can say. Like, people might not like Ben Affleck as an actor, but I did like him as Batman. Like, he was a brutal Batman that I've always wanted to see. He was a weathered, a gritty Batman that was like, yo, I'm done with all this other type of stuff. Ain't nobody going to jail. Nobody's going to Arkham Asylum. We about to handle this right here. I loved it. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. But yeah, the absolute, I mean, drawing wise, it is dope. Beyond, how I feel about it, art wise, it is dope. I do like how the characters look. I did see, I caught up on it visual wise when you had Batman versus Bane. That whole thing, I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. I'm like, dog, you got to use a skyscraper. Yo, it is madness out there. But now he got to fight the Joker. Good luck with that one. I'm not sure how he's going to do that. Joker looked like he's like 12, 13, 15 feet tall. Bane was already a severely large character. That dude was basically a mountain. I'm not even sure how he's going to fight this. Luckily, Killer Croc was there. Shout out to Killer Croc. One of the most misunderstood villains directly out there. Killer Croc is actually not a bad guy. And that's the one thing I will give DC when it deals with their villains. They will their villains are not even like Mr. Freeze is not even bad. Everything that he does is to try to bring his wife back out of that stasis sleep from like that illness, that incurable illness. Like he's trying to find like a cure directly for her. I think that's also how he basically ended up in that cryo suit that basically changed him forever. Like I said, Batman animated series. If you've never seen it, go watch it. A lot of the villains and stuff, they're highly fleshed out. Clayface, I think maybe even the Penguin. The Penguin, how the Penguin ended up being the Penguin in Absolute Batman. Ooh, that is jacked up. Woo, woo. He got a number done on him. Man, that is tough. That is tough. Tippy said Akuma is Roman. Yep. So Akuma is officially Hawaiian. And the funniest thing is, if you actually look up the heights of a lot of the characters, Akuma, I think, is about like 5'9". He's like 5'9", 5'8". What a lot of people don't even understand, which is crazy. A lot of characters in Street Fighter are technically short. And then once you start going to other characters, they start to get, taller, like a Sagat, Vega, and things like that. Even though Vega is actually M Bison, and Bison is Vega. I forgot it's reversed. Yeah, Vega is M Bison. Borog is M Bison, aka Mike Tyson. And then Vega was, switched or whatever. Like I said, somebody know what I'm talking about. It's been a minute. Third Eye said guy would be 6 foot, 210 pounds, and Cody makes that physique easily. Yeah, and he's also athletic. So for him to do like some flips and stuff is going to be easy. Panther Jones said, do you think that they'll make a Dragon Ball Z movie now with the technology that we got? I would rather them do a Gundam movie. I would rather them do a Gundam movie before they try to attempt to do a Dragon Ball Z movie because, no. Or they might as well do like a Solo Leveling. They might as well try that. Icon said DC animation is top tier. Bars. Xavier said DC animation is amazing. Tippy said, yeah, I saw the majority of DC animated films. Xavier said the Constantine movies are some of my favorite. Yeah, those are dope too. K5 said, I don't like how 50 talks. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. It's like the voice is going to, get to me unless he will be able to change it. And then 50 Cent is also Balrog in the Street Fighter film. And he actually shed weight for that too. Yeah, that dude got into shape. That man, that dude is a method actor. That's the one thing I will say I respect about him. Like that dude, if he's gonna play a role, he's gonna, do like that Christian Bale, Jared Leto, type of or Heath Ledger, type of thing, which is dope. Third Eye said I can't stand Flashpoint Wonder Woman. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like I said, how she ended up, that was crazy. I'm like, out of all people, I'm like, how did you let this happen? Crazy work. Tippy said, no, not his colorist self, not 50 Cent. Old school, what is up? You said Michael B. Jordan needs to come out with the Rainbow Six Siege movie. Oh, yeah, that'd be dope. That would be dope. That'd be sick. Tippy said, I saw Creed. He's still not big enough. What are you talking about? What? K5 said Jonathan Majors Spawn. That could work. That could work. That could work. Panther Jones said Michael B. Jordan definitely muscular enough to play as Spawn. Third Eye said absolute Batman gets his butt handed to him almost consistently. Yeah, he does. He does. It like to sitting up here laughing. K5 said absolute Green Lantern is good. Wally is a teen and absolute Flash. So I skipped it, but the Rogues is dope in that book. Yeah, I gotta check that out for Wally. I gotta check it out. They also got the absolute Martian Manhunter. I gotta check that out too. You also got DCKO that is going on currently at this moment in time, and you got I think Superman 1,000,000, the golden Superman showing up, and I think that should be the one that also has a Green Lantern ring. He should be the last Green Lantern as well too, from his universe. Even though he did get defeated, I forgot who defeated him, but yeah, he got defeated. Enlightened said the story was so butt though. Panther Jones said, now that I think about it, 50 Cent can play Spawn and a character have the same type of attitude. True. Xavier said Ben Affleck as Batman felt like Arkham Batman to me, and that was dope. Yeah. Third Eye said Joker is a SPC reject now. Yeah. And SPC, if nobody knows about that, yeah, we don't need that. We don't need any SPCs in this universe at all. I would never want to find any portal that leads to that. We don't need that. We no. Nope. I didn't went through too many YouTube videos of people explaining some stuff. Yeah, nah. Nope. Tippy said Joker tiny. I can take him. Nah, not absolute Joker, Tippy. Nah. That Joker's like 12 to 15 feet tall. Nah, that's Nephilim height. K5 said Joker looks like the Violator from Spawn, but Bruce is more than likely going to team up with Croc and Freeze. Yeah, I believe it. Hack said, which Joker? Absolute Joker. Xavier said DC does tragic villains quite well. This is true. Tippy said Roman Reigns is 6'5". Enlightened said, yeah, DC villains have a lot of traumatic past and agendas shape that Marvel villains just be bonkers off the wall trying to seize power because they already have powers. LOL. Bot said, you're right, man. Penguin caught the ultimate L in Absolute Batman. Yeah, it was bad. John said Vega is Bison. Yep. Like I said, I used to know all this stuff directly by heart, just in order. It's been a while. It has been a while. Third said Absolute Batman criminals are SPC creates gone crazy bars. Mahoko, what is going on? You said Borog is in Bison, Vega is Borog, and in Bison is Vega. Yeah. Yep. Cody, wait, K5 said Cody Rhodes is my age, and that is crazy. Word? That's crazy. He wrote that. It's crazy. Enlightened said Rainbow Six Siege movie. They should do a show, to be honest. Rainbow Six doesn't need a movie. It's too shallow. I mean, I can see like an either or type. I mean, yeah, that's true. Because if they do a movie, then it's gonna be like a one and done. But if they do a show, you can keep adding stuff direct. Yeah, I can see. Yeah. Pink said I like to see a Sakamoto Days movie. That series is good. I think I was just watching like a trailer. I think I seen something of that before, so I think I might know what you're talking about. Third said Batman villains are SPC creatures. Oh, okay. Wait, that's a repeat? I think it's a repeat. Hack said, as for Gundam movies, which era though? Ooh, that's tough. I mean, for me, I didn't see Mobile Suit, 0080, 81. I know a lot of people like Unicorn, Destiny, Sharks Counterattack. I mean, it's still dealing with armor on them. G Gundam. For me, I would have to say, because this for me was my classic. I did watch the armor roll and everything of that sort. But I would have to go with Gundam Wing. I would have to. It would have to be directly with that. I want to see a Hero Yui. I want to see the duo. I want to see the Wing Zero. I want to see all. I want to see all of that. I would love to, in a sense, see that in a live action, type of deal. Because, like I said, even though I don't like Jennifer Lopez, for a variety of reasons, but the mech movie that she was in, if that is any indicator of what they could basically do with graphics, give me a Gundam movie. Give me a Gundam movie. I will take it. So we would have G Gundam, you would have Endless Waltz. And then the other one I would actually want to see, which is sort of kind of a piggybacked off of that, which is Gundam 00. Where you got Gundam, you got the Trans Am, Gundam Ryza, and all of that. So, and then G Gundam. And then you can take it back to Mobile Suits and, and stuff like that. I mean, that's just me, though. That's just me. My uncle said AC 195 for me. Let me see. Shout out to Xavier for the, I think that should be like, that's 400 in Nigeria. I forgot the actual name directly for it, because I went over it before in a live stream. But shout out to the donation to the channel. Much love. You said that Borog is in Bison in the Japanese version. Bars. And then Akuma is also Goku. You know, and that used to kill me every single time I would hear somebody when I would talk about Street Fighter, and then it would always be somebody that's like, "Yo, man, you know, like you gotta call him by his actual name is like it's Goku." I'm like, "Dog, all right, you going a little bit too fantastic with like the whole like Japanese." I'm like, "Dog, I get it, I know what it is, Goku, Akuma, Akuma, go. I get it. It's like, but it ain't this." I'm like, "It ain't this serious." I'm like, "Just calm down." I'm like, "Man." I'm just trying to live. But yeah, much love, respect, and appreciation for the dono. Much love, respect, and appreciation. What was it? Third set at Seji. Have you seen SCP-682 in the back rooms? It's 3 hours long. Pretty decent story. Nah. Last time I watched anything close to 3 hours, that might have been like some in game, something Marvel. So I ain't see that yet. Panther said, "Did you like the Batman movie?" You know what the funny part is? I have not seen it yet. I was supposed to. But then I get caught up doing videos and trying to get content, do live streams and stuff, and then trying to catch up on playing some games and whatnot. Like I have not even been on the game in some days because I've been sitting here trying to get content and just have a consistent schedule of putting up videos. So I haven't even been on the game really. For anybody, any of my Call of Duty COD people directly up there got Black Ops 7. I am still at Prestige. I think because technically I should have been like Master Prestige right now. I'm at Prestige. What is it? Prestige 9, level 36. Trying to look at this like level 36, 37. So that's where I'm currently at. And even as I'm talking to you right now, it's just sitting directly on the screen as I'm basically working. It's crazy work out here. You got that. You got the First Descendant, which just had an update. And I got to get well, that's for those who know about First Descendant. I got to get Ultimate Eugen because, like I told y'all before, I play support. So, we got that directly up there. Call of Duty. Oh, snap. Let me check something real quick. Because where is for anybody who got an Xbox, the patch came out for Call of Duty, and that was about like 60 something gigs. But it was like 69.47 gigs, but I don't see the battle pass at all. And I could have sworn that was supposed to be it's past 12, right? Matter of fact, let me just do a restart. Because I'm like, that's wild. Because I'm like, I could have sworn we were supposed to have like the battle pass and okay, yeah. So yep. So it should be. Yeah, because it's officially, yeah, it should have came out around 12. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, I gotta sit up there and oh come on. Now it's acting like it don't wanna do what it's supposed to do. I don't think it's is there another patch for it? I gotta check. Let me see. What? How is it doing a pre-download when I already did this? Brother, what? Dog, that's ridiculous. So it basically just re-downloaded the same pre-download, which I hate when it does that. And it's up here sitting at like 60. No, it's sitting at like 100%. Like that's wild. That is wild. So let me see. What? Yes, it's still looking the exact same. I don't even view and queue. Okay, pause. Uh okay, I'm not sure. Would I have to like log out to get it to unstick, I guess? I don't know. This is why I hate the pre-download sometimes because they don't act right. It's very annoying. Let me see. Let me see if I sign out. Let me see. Okay, Hack said, also, would you join the Federation, or Xeon? Oh, that's tough. In the Federation, they didn't have some characters that I just don't like at certain points. I don't know. It's tough. That's a very, I would have to, because the funniest thing is one of my favorite Gundams that I love playing with, and this is for anybody who played Gundam Battle Assault. GP Gundam was one of my GP Gundam, Sandrock, Death Sight, Heavy Arms. Did I really play with Ball? Ball is not a Gundam. That's a mobile suit technically. Even though I think they did call it Ball. I don't know. It's tough. I would actually have to think on that one. K5 said, "LOL." It's like Eris from Final Fantasy VII. I will never call her Aerith. Timmy said, "Hey, says you make sure you show that video you posted a couple hours ago and read the comment." Man, I ain't going through all of that, Tippy. Not doing that. 50 said, "I seen that Prestige." Wait, 50 said, "I'm on PlayStation and it was downloaded and I deleted it. I deleted the other download. Now it's like it's not even letting me let me just restart. Let me just restart the console. Now it's just acting stupid. Cause like usually, cause I pre-downloaded this. I think what was it, like earlier this morning. It was like as soon as it turned like 12 or whatever it was, I already had it downloaded. And then now it comes to today and it's like, oh, we're going to re-download the exact same thing again, which I hate when it does that. And now I got to just restart the system to hopefully get it to work properly, because it was not letting me actually sign in. It was like, oh, you're signing, it's taking too long. I'm like, it shouldn't be, which is crazy. K5 said there's some crazy videos in Discord right now. Wait, you talking about in our Discord? Old school says, Seji, do you think PlayStation, Xbox should wait until 2030 for the next gen? Nah. Nah. It wait, do I gotta, let me see, resume on? Let me just hit resume. Hopefully that'll fix it. It's re-downloading again? Ew, brother, ew, what's that? This is like, if it can stay, okay, it said like 38 seconds. Well, if it can stay at downloading at about like 4 gigs per second, then I'm good. Maybe not, because it went down to about 1.89. Now it's back up to 2. I don't know. If it can just hit that peak where it was at like 5 to 6 at a random time, and it only happens at night when everybody is asleep, then I'm good. I'm completely fine with that. Like I just need that to just like randomly spike up there for about a good 15 seconds, and then it can just duck back down to 1, 2, or maybe like 3 gigs per second. That'd be great. Tippy said, I heard the stream might be better than Xbox and PS5. Wait, the stream? Wait, what you mean, Tippy? Tippy said, hey, do any of y'all know the name of the game where you can be a superhero in a free roam city, but you need a job like regular citizens? I forgot what, I think I know what you're talking. You might be talking about that story game. I think. Tippy said, why not? It's going to take you 10 minutes to go to the video, play, and show my comment. No, Timmy. Mahoko said, can you link the Discord? Let me see. Oh, that's because like Tippy posted it. Let Let me see. Does somebody got the link to the Discord? Because I do not have it on this PC. I think. What would I have to do? I think I'll have to go to the other channel and get the link to the Discord. I think that's what I would have to do. Let me see. I'll have to go to my channel because I think that link should. I think I just left that link up there, so it should still work. Oh wait, it's not up there, brother. What? All right, never mind. I lied. All right, let me see. There we go. All right, copy, paste. All right, Mahoko, there you go. That is a link to the Discord. Yo, Bushido, what's up? K5 said 60 gigs for an update. F that. I mean, it's adding a lot directly in there. It's the new season. You got the new Warzone. You got brand new maps in there, and different stuff. So that's the reason that it's large. It's not just like an update for no reason. It actually has a lot of stuff directly in it. But I do get that it's like, hey, it's 60 gigs, and you might, depending on the space that you got on the system. I get it. Bushido, what is up? You said I just started the first Ascendant. Haven't played much since I haven't had the time. So far, I like it. Yeah, first Ascendant is actually pretty nice. I have about half of the Descendants. My one favorite Descendant is Eugen, and he just came out. They just came out with his ultimate form, and I need to get that. But I gotta wait till like 15 hours, or I could just buy it. Can't really buy it at this moment, but so I'm gonna try to wait the 15 hours so that when the store actually opens, the in-game store with the in-game currency, I could try to trade in whatever I got just so I could buy the parts and I can build ultimate Eugen, because I already combined some of the mods in order to get one of the newer mods directly. Like I said, for me, I like playing support, and I always wanted Eugen to have some utility so that he can actually dish out damage instead of just sitting there heal. And sometimes I just feel like, I just want to be selfish, and I want to be able to heal myself instead of trying to babysit and heal everybody else. If you've ever played support in the game, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's very tough. It's very tough. Let me see. Third Eye said, Seji, take that video down. I just realized it's getting closer to the time for me to cook, and that face on screen is killing me. John, yo, thank you for that. John said it was Dispatch. That might be the game that you're talking about, Tippy. You would have to check it out on Steam. You have to check it out on there. Tippy said, LOL, I did post on Discord recently. LOL. Of course you did. 50 says same glitchy functions. Bars. Straight bars. The funniest part is we actually had one more video.
Antagonize.
we actually had one more video. Let me see. How long is this? This one is only that one is only like a minute. That one's only a minute. So what I'll do is I'll play this. We'll have a quick Mahoko said thank you, said joined. Hey, much appreciation for joining. Got you. So I'll play these last two videos, and then we'll continue the conversation. So let me just play this real quick.
Africans were paid to antagonize Black Americans and spread misinformation. Check this out.
We've been investigating this network of trolls targeting African Americans, and now we've actually come here to Ghana to try to get the full story.
In the run-up to our journey, we had discovered that all of the accounts were connected to an NGO called Eliminating Barriers for the Liberation of Africa, known as EBLA, or EBLA. Looking at the website, it was clear something was off. Parts of it still had dummy text. It was impossible to make an actual donation. And most mysteriously, one of the photographs had a Russian file name. Though the group claimed to be focused on issues like poverty in Ghana, its employees posted almost exclusively about the U.S. Some used incendiary language. America's descent into a fascist police state continues. Someone needs to take that senator out. Often they posted on real U.S. groups, an attempt to gain legitimacy and build an audience. The CNN investigation has found that Accra, Ghana was the launch pad for an online operation to stoke racial tensions and stir up social unrest in the U.S. ahead of the 2020 election.
And this is an investigation by CNN that they were paid to spread misinformation and target Black Americans specifically in 2020. And this is no different than what they're doing now, trying to spread fear mongering amongst Black Americans with the information that they spread on this app. You had Ghana websites that were specifically targeting Black Americans. It seemed like things haven't changed. Trolls, paid trolls.
Right. And there was actually a video that I was going to do. I didn't end up doing it, but there was a website that I found where they had a catalog of all of these Africans that had all of these, like the troll accounts and stuff, and just putting a whole bunch of nonsense and stuff directly out there. Right. Like I said, crazy work, diabolical. 1000%. Right. So last but not least, basically away from that topic there, this video here. So let me just, I gotta now dip back into the previous conversation that you guys seen normally directly on the channel. And this is specifically how young dudes or men in general just end up losing their lives because of situations like this. So the young dude that you're going to see that is recording, he's going up to women, basically, giving them a compliment and, trying to talk to them, right? Just ordinary stuff. Like, he's not being abrasive. He's not being, pushy, trying to, touch them and all this other type of stuff, right? So let's look at it.
Huh? What happened? What you mean what happened? What you saying, people? What you mean? You said what you keep walking for? Oh, excuse me. Before you keep on walking, come here. How you doing? No,
so right, that was the girl that you saw at the first part of the video. He said something directly to her, like, "Hey, you just gonna keep walking, like, like what you doing?" And he just like let it be. He just let it fly. Notice he didn't do no more, no less. He wasn't following her. He didn't call her out of her name. Didn't do nothing. Right?
If I needed a reason to smile, you'll be my reason. If I needed a reason to smile. How you doing?
Hi.
What's your name?
Wait, I'm old enough to be your mother.
No, you not. Why you lying like that?
I'm almost 40.
You almost 40? And guess how old I am? I look young, don't I?
Yes.
35. 1991.
Right. So you saw what he was doing. He was just sitting up there, just, being silly, probably giving a compliment, things of that nature, right? Doing the same thing each and every time. So the girl that you originally saw the very first time that he tried to talk to, she decided to more than likely exaggerate the story. And then she told these two clowns, and then they believe whatever it is that she stated.
Huh? What happened?
What you mean what happened? What you saying, people?
What you mean?
You said what you keep walking for?
Oh, I said before you keep on walking, how you doing? I was trying to talk to her.
He just introduced himself.
Hey, I was introduced about
just talking to him. He knew what he was saying.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. I said before you keep on walking, how you doing? But she in a relationship? My fault, bro.
Right. And the dude apologized. He's like, okay, well, I didn't know she was in a relationship. Like, they tried to press him over nothing. Like, that made no sense. Like, they didn't even know what the situation was. She told them like some type of inflated story. And they looked like they was going to sit up there and try to do something for like no reason. And then once he explained it, they were just like, or kind of realized that basically now they looking stupid. And then they just walked off again being stupid. I'm like, dog, like y'all doing way too much for no reason. Like, if it was that serious, y'all should have been walking with her from the get-go. Don't just pull up to the scene now because somebody was trying to just sit up there and talk to her, say something nice to her. Like I said, that's some crazy stuff. 100% crazy stuff. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, crazy. Okay, so 50. Now I got the update working. So after it, like, it actually re-downloaded again, I guess I'm officially in there. Looking at what is up here. What is that? A camo? Oh, that camo don't look too bad. That's a bubble gum. What camo is that? That's trash. That's an emblem. Okay, so I guess we're not getting a. Okay, that's a knife. That's a weapon charm. Okay, that's all stuff for like zombies. Okay, now that's the going over the battle pass. I got to go for the LMG because I'm an LMG person. Got to do it. Tippy said the game is dispatch. Okay, Seiji, look up the trailer. I looked up the trailer before. Tippy, you look up the trailer. You're not about to get me caught up, Tippy. True Judah said I got to rewatch most of this over. No problem, no problem. 50 said Ebola. Tippy said when Black Americans vacation in Africa, Africans will double charge you on the streets foods and up the price and everything. I mean, this is true. Other Black Americans talked about this as well too. True Judah said, I'm good on being called a Negro again. That's what we was being called still in the early 90s. That's true. 50 said, all skin folk ain't kin folk. My uncle said, agreed, Tippy. K5 said, the Democrats have been involved and they intensely lie on us. Facts. Tippy said, Riz is a corny word. I mean, that's for the newer generation. Mahoko said he lied in 1991. Is 34 and not 35. I mean, he didn't say that math was a strong suit. Third said 35 if he was born in 91 on January. Tippy said he has a camera. Some folks don't like being filmed for content without their consent. Well, by the way it's looking, it seems as though that he's wearing like the Ray-Bans or the Meta glasses. So he doesn't specifically have it in his hand. So they might not have probably didn't really notice. 50 said, make sure it didn't delete the old downloads. No, that's good. I got my 700 Call of Duty coins at this moment. And something told me that I should have sat up there and just got the Volt Edition. I mean, we got for Xbox, we got Call of Duty for free anyway, so I could have just paid $30 for the Volt Edition and been good and had all the Black Cell stuff. I'll probably just get it later at some point. I want to see, where is that light machine gun at? Okay, I see new weapon down there. What is that? That's the assault rifle. Long range. That's not the LMG. Which one is that? What is that? A pistol? That's a blueprint. Okay, that's the submachine gun, right? The Wolfhound, isn't that the shotgun? Yeah, that's the Echo. That's a blueprint. And the Maddox RFB is the brand new assault rifle. You gotta be kidding me. So where is I gotta take my time and look for the LMG. They better have it in here. So now we got EMP grenade skins. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll sit up there and matter of fact, I don't need to go through the battle pass. Let me see weapons. We go to loadout real quick. Okay, so I guess the LMG is coming later on during the season. Because we're still stuck with like 2 LMGs, which is crazy. That's, like I said, they got to do some of those weapons. That is wild. That is wild. Tippy said, camera and shades, that's wrong to me, so you can record anybody, even children. Tippy, you're taking it too far. Now, again, not saying that you don't have dudes or people out here doing that, but usually when it just deals with people just wearing those, they're usually just doing content and they're focused on actual adults. or people are wearing those to, vlog and stuff like that. I like those due to the fact that it's hands free. Like I don't feel like holding the phone directly in front of me, and then like let's say like I'm recording, and then somebody want to just like pick up and run off with my phone. Now I'm just sitting up there looking crazy, looking straight crazy. Third said worst gaming tutorial ever. Wait, you talking about for what, the First Descendant, or you talking about for something else? You talking about First Descendant or Call of Duty? Man, I'm so mad that we don't got the new LMG. That is trash, man. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. All right, so we got some brand new Mastercrafts directly in the store. I gotta check out the we got a free gift. Of course, double XP. Why not? What is that for, like 15 minutes? Oh, 30-minute token. All right. Trash. Straight trash. Awesome. You said talking about you looking for the LMG, LOL. Wait, what? That's crazy. First of all, I was going through the battle pass. Ain't nothing wrong with LMGs. I am an LMG shotgunner. I use one of the most hated weapons in shooter history. Because it don't matter what shooter you play on, around the world, everybody hates people who use shotguns, and it be like that. But yet the same people who hate the shotgun also want to use the shotgun, which doesn't make sense. They'll mostly have like an overkill class. And I'm like, that's whack. I'm like, so you're using a sniper, and you know that chances are that you're going to miss the shot if somebody actually got some decent movement. So now you want to sit up there and swap to the shotgun and shoot. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Like, y'all here, you looking crazy. Looking crazy. Yeah, I'm quite outdone. I am quite outdone. I would rather actually have the weapon versus just random skins. Tippy said, I'm not taking it too far. What about those folks who wearing them, who's not doing any content at all? They're walking around just recording people, brother, children. I say Bennett. I mean, like I said, you'll probably have some people using it for, the wrong things. But it's like, if you're going to say ban, you might as well just ban phone cameras. Before you even had the meta glasses, you had people recording people with phone cameras, and then before phone cameras, you had people doing it with the video camcorders, the big video camcorders people used to have, and before that, people were just taking Polaroids, and so on and so on and so on. So it's like, I don't know. Like I said, it's just going to be something else that. Excuse me. It's going to be something else that people got to get used to. Tippy said, I don't like that. What that black dude said about black women not belonging to black men. That's stupid for him to say when we as women came from your rib, not white women. Well, technically, I put it to you like this, right? You already know that we've covered videos where black women have basically said that black men do not own black women, right? We have no ownership. We do not own you. You are completely autonomous in all of this, right? Or let me use the words that other ones have basically said, that we're not black women are not slaves. They're not the property of black men and all this other. So, these conversations have been had before, and the only thing that he basically did is agree with what black women have already been saying for years. So it's like I said, I get from the perspective that people is like, we don't want to hear him talk because he's in a interracial relationship and all this. I get that part. But it's like, also at the same time, it's like, how many times have we heard black women all over the internet streets basically say that black men don't have ownership, don't have any type of say so when it deals with black women? And you know I've brought y'all videos like that before. And those words have come directly out of the mouths of black women. But like I said, I get it. People don't want to sit up there and hear from that dude because he's in an interracial relationship. I get it. But it's like also at the same time, the crazy part is that woman she's married and in a interracial relationship, and she felt that she could just come through and just throw her 2 cents in, which makes no sense. I'm like, her even speaking didn't even make no sense. I'm like, you should not even be in this conversation. I'm like, if she was coming from the perspective that she was like married to a black dude and she wanted to have this conversation, all right, cool. I see where you're coming from. I understand it. I get it. But that was not even the case. Timmy said that's why you should play the video and show my comment. Ma'am, the video is directly up there. If anybody want to see it, they can go see it. I don't even feel like playing the what's the name? Because I'm really trying to, in a sense, move away from that anyway. Man, I'm tired. I'm trying to technically move away from that anyway because, as stated before, that pops up when you got people that want to pull up to the scene and start saying stuff about black men. I'm like, all right, we can play this game, no problem. So I think I checked back. I've been putting out content like that for at least, I think, on and off for about like a month. And a lot of the individuals that wanted to pull up to the scene and always say something, they magically did not pull up to all of those videos like I knew they wouldn't. But I was like, had hopes that they would. And I'm like, okay, well, we can go back to other scheduled programming. So this is how we ended up with this live stream. That's how we ended up with this live stream. I mean, I do have I got 2 videos basically loaded up for you guys. I may move the times around. Technically, actually 3 videos. So what is it right now? It's about like 5 something. Yeah, I might have to actually move the times around possibly for one of the videos. But yeah, we got some videos up here. But the same thing, like I told y'all before, anything that y'all saw on the live stream, I of course will have in a single formatted video as well. Wait, what? I'm looking at this one dumb reply. Wait a minute. Wait. What did this clown just say? You said, I've seen enough of your videos, sir. Stop putting FBA women down so much. You be tripping, but I watch your videos because you be talking sense sometimes and stuff. Okay, that was 12 days ago. So what was the other one? I could have sworn I just... 2 days ago. What video was this? I gotta actually look at this video real quick. I swear somebody always writing some buffoonery up here. Let me see. Was that reply recent? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why it showed up as recent, which is weird. Okay, it's because somebody liked the comment. Okay, I got you. It's crazy work. Anyways, always have some nonsense and some shenanigans up here from these bum replies. Straight replies. But yeah, like I was telling you before, Tippy, had those videos directly up there just for those people that like to talk to pull up to the scene. And, they didn't want to pull up to those videos. Did not want to pull up to those videos at all. Color me surprised. Color me surprised. What was it? What was it? Mahoko says, are you getting Metro Prime 4? I will do my best to try and get that. I will do my best. That, the funny part is that would technically be my very first Metroid game. Last time I played, I think anything close to a Metroid, I want to say that might have been on Game Boy Black and White. The bad boy that required 5 batteries. 5 batteries, 5 batteries. Tippy said, all right, fine. Grumble, grumble, grumble. 50 said, clearly, he trying to switch the subjects at the moment. 50 said, what's your favorite LMG? I would actually have to go to... Would it be weapons? No, it's not loadout. I think it's career, correct? And then I'll have to go to stats. Would it be the XM? It's tough. Let me see. Because technically, I think I caught them up. I would actually say it would technically be the MK78 because of how close to neutral I have the recoil a little bit. Like it's recoilless in a sense. But I like the speed of the XM325 because once you put, because I got both of them with the 500 round drum directly on there, so all I got to worry about is like the cooldown. Problem is, I want to say it should be the XM has the highest cooldown, and then the MK has like the shortest. So it's like it'll go up, it'll overheat quick, but the cooldown will come down pretty quick as well too. So it's like that one is not that bad. I was just hoping for that other one to be there because I'm like, all right, well, this one should either be medium or it should be heavy hitting and probably just a slower rate of fire. If it's heavy hitting with a slow rate of fire, I'll take it. Because all I got to do is probably get it to like 38, 37, 38, 40 so I can get the rapid fire. And then I'll just figure out everything else from there. Mogo says, Seji, YouTube said you're my top 5 most watched channels. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. That is dope. That is very awesome. Timmy said, okay, I'll drop it. Timmy said, wait, who said that? Mogo said, darn, really? Hope you like it. Oh, you said Metro? Yeah. No, trust me, Samus, that's always been my girl to play back in the days of Smash Brothers. That was like one of my first characters that I loved playing. And then after that, a little bit later, it was it Wario? I gotta try to remember now. No. After Samus, it was like Samus, Mr. Game and Watch, and then it was Roy from Emblem Fire. And then I think I might have had ROB and oh man, I'm trying to remember the other character real quick. King Dedede with the big hammer. So I was like, those are my main 4 to 5 characters, with Samus, being like number 1 up there. OG. 50 said the route is one for me. Oh yeah, I remember the route. You taking it back though. You are taking that one back. I couldn't even tell you what it was for me on Black. It should have been Black Ops 6. Couldn't even tell you for Black Ops 6 because I ended up getting banned because I got reported. Because people do not like when you use shotguns. They'll sit up there and report you real quick. And Activision, I did like a whole video on that, and it was just clownery. Like, I would love to sit up and see the proof because I'm like, if you go through my stats, ain't nothing perfect on there. I don't have no ridiculous score or anything like that. You can even look through the replays, which we have theater mode. You can look through the replays and sit up there and easily see, like, yeah, ain't nobody cheating here. Like I said, I am just as much as I get kills, I'll sit up there and get bodied as well too. He said, crazy work. Timmy said, have y'all ever heard of Moose Cake? I never had it. I used to binge watch Asians eating those fluffy moose cakes on videos. Yeah, I've heard of that before. You said the PML is fire too. What was the one LMG that I love the most? And it was on Cold War. It should have been. I think it was called like the Granite. It was like an LMG, and it had like a. It should have had like a disc shape directly, a disc shaped magazine on the top. I think. Like I said, it's been a minute, but that was my other LMG because as soon as I was able to unlock that, because I think that came out through like the battle pass or whatever it was, I used that. Yo, I was smoking everybody. I'm like, I need that LMG on here because that would automatically put me on the same level with these ARs and these SMGs. Because all I have to do is get my aim down sight up quick or hip fire, and I'm good. Hip firing on here is a little bit weird, even with the crossbar. So I don't know. Even though with the crossbar, it's not really hip firing, but just saying. Just saying. But yeah, I'm probably about to probably figure out something to eat and possibly try to play some games if I'm not too tired. How long we can be going for? Like 3 hours right now. So yeah, I'm going to probably let this video sit for a minute. Let me see, what time is it? It's 5:22. So what I probably do is I will uh put the other video up for y'all about like 6 possibly. Uh Wait a minute. I could have sworn. Oh, okay, it's down there. Okay, yeah. Wait, is that for today? Oh, I don't even gotta worry about it. All right, that's good. It's already set. So we already got that video set directly for y'all at 6 o'clock. So that's all good. So yeah. Shout out. Wait, what did you say? Tippy said game and stream win. Not sure, Tippy. Not sure. We will have one at a moment in time, but not sure when it's going to take place. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'll do the gaming streams on here really or on the game channel because algorithms, and I ain't trying to really throw nothing off. I mean, even though I could do like a 2-for-1, here, but I would really like to actually grow the other channel so that it's just like solo, just about gaming, and people can just like relax, come there, talk about video games and comics or whatever it is, stuff like that. Timmy said eat salmon and rice with soy sauce. I actually don't eat it with soy sauce. And the funny thing is I had salmon and rice the previous night because I made it. I made it with some jasmine rice and some garlic butter. Tippy said I might play Red Dead Redemption 2. You might as well play it since you're off The Sims, which is about time. Let me clap it up for you, Tippy. I'm highly proud that you're off The Sims. Highly proud. Mahogo said use the game channel. Yeah, that's pretty much the plan. That's pretty much the plan because I like to technically keep a lot of content separate. So and that's the way to basically do that. Tippy said, "Cool, but don't play these boring games." Whatever, Tippy. The funny thing is, just because you said that, now I'm going to delete this horror game that we got for free on Xbox that I did start playing, and now I'm not going to play it just because you said that, Tippy. I got you. That's what I'm going to do. What was it? Hack telling Tippy to play the trading card game. Tippy said, "Yeah, I'm taking a break from The Sims. Yeah, a permanent break, Tippy. Let that family rest." Tippy said, "No." He's like, "I'm sorry." The game that I'm talking about, I got to go to the front store, so you can probably look it up in your spare time, Tippy. Where did it go? Where did it go? is not Octopath Traveler. Now I gotta try to find. Matter of fact, I don't even gotta try to find it. Now I will tell you a game that I have been binging directly on, and that's because it's free on Xbox. Is Marvel Cosmic. Oh, it's not even. I don't even got to list it up there. But basically, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Yeah, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I've been going through that and playing that one. So they got two horror games up there, Tippy. They got one horror game called Routine. So look that one up. And they got another horror game called Total Chaos. So those are the horror games, Tippy, that we basically have for free on Xbox. This is why I tried to get you on Xbox, Tippy, because all you got to do is have Game Pass, and you got a whole bunch of games to pretty much play that you can select directly from. But no, Tippy wanted to stay on PlayStation. Tippy said, I'm trying to complete Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, you got 200 hours left, Tippy, to complete Red Dead Redemption. Tippy said, what's TCG? Basically, it's trading card. It should be, if I'm correct. K5 said, Cosmic Invasion is dope. Yeah, it is. It is. The thing that I told one of my friends is that I wanted them to implement the same system that they have for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, which is now I gotta go to the name of it. Let me see, TMNT. Yeah, Splinter's Fate. Like if anybody played the brand new TMT game, Splinter's Fate, check that out and look at the upgrade system that they have directly in there. Like I said, if they implement that directly into the Marvel game, beautiful. Beautiful. That'll keep people on it even more. That'll keep me on it. Especially if I can go through and power up, some of, let's say like some combos or some moves or things like that. That'll be dope. That would be dope. Tippy said, I don't have Xbox. Yeah, we know, Tippy. We know. We were going to start you a Tippy fund for an Xbox, but you're like, no, I don't want an Xbox. Hack said, a fun, free to play Pokemon trading card game, PvP and PvE bars. Tippy said, I don't play games like that. I was never into Pokemon growing up. LOL. Sorry, I like Digimon theme song. No, I would technically, I was both, which is the funny part, but I lean more. It's like Marvel and DC in a sense. I lean more towards Digimon because it was more of a risk when going out there and actually battling. And everything that happened in the digital world, it started seeping into the real world. So a lot of stuff in the digital world that they thought they left there, it had actual real world consequences. So, that's why I was more of a, Digimon fan. Even though I do play Pokemon Unite, which is a very dope game. Very, very dope game. Like I said, shout out to my Switch players out there that play Pokemon Unite. Shout out to you guys. Actually, we can't be friends anymore. You're blocked. Tippy is a hater of all decent games. Tippy said, I said I like the Digimon song, not the show. Wow, hater, Tippy. No, the Digimon song has always been dope. Change into digital champions to save the digital world. Yeah, classic. Like, it's a very simple, very catchy song. It's dope. But Pokemon also got some catchy songs. You got the Poke Rap, you got the original theme song for Pokemon. I want to be the very best that no one ever was. Yeah, what? You already knew what time it was when that song was coming on. It was basically time. If you were going to school during that time, you either your classes started a little bit later. It started after Pokemon, which was during the point of like when Sailor Moon or Beast Wars are coming on, or you were basically late for school. And then you were going to just be there like 30 minutes late. It was either one of the two, at least during that time, up until they threw that on like, Saturday morning cartoons or whatever. K5 said, I need a new Mastodon album. You know, the funny thing is, I heard of Mastodon before. True said, I heard a new Nintendo Switch, just a little bit different from the old one. Is that true? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I, I, I would just say if you plan on getting the Switch, just wait. Um, because the thing with the Switch 2, with the whole key cards and different stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, Nintendo, you technically doing some PSP Go type stuff, and I'm not really with that. I need them to figure that out. I need Nintendo to get themselves together and figure that out. Like I said, nothing against anybody who got a Switch 2 at this moment in time. Just for me, like I said, original Switch, got it back in 2017, right after I got out of work. Went directly to Target, waited in line, had my ticket, and got my Nintendo Switch with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, with my Legend of Zelda case. Um it's just not jiving with me at this moment in time with some of the stuff that they're doing. I need them to get themselves straight directly on that. Now I will give them some points on the accessories, like the camera, how you got the camera feature directly on there, different stuff like that. Also the way that you can share games, pretty dope as well too. I like that. That's something that I want to implement it for all systems. People clowned. You could do that at one point in time for the PS3. You would just need, I think, what, a third profile and a key to that third profile where you can share games like that. We had the DMR situation with Xbox. That was going to be the next iteration of that being able to actually take place and happen, but the industry basically clowned Xbox and they dropped it. Pretty much canceled that. Tippy said I was more of a Marvel, DC, Wildcats, Gargoyles, Mummies Alive, and etc. It's funny that Tippy knows about Mummy Alive when she always says that I wasn't around during that time. Tippy always says that. I kid you not. Mahoko said that original Pokemon English song is amazing. Yep. Along with the Poke Rap. And then you had the one going to Viridian City. So you want to be a master of Pokemon? Do you got the skills to be number one? You got that one. We all live in a Pokemon world. Pokemon. You got that one too. I think, was it Johto? Do 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 do. It was another theme song for another region that they also had too. That was pretty catchy. Um, Tippy said Jim and the hologram came later in life. LOL, Pepper Ann, Little Bill, Doug, LOL. Sailor Moon, True Judah said, yeah, my son didn't want it. We have the first one. Yeah, the first one is a good one. Anything that you buy for that is yours. The second one is a little bit iffy for me. Again, I do like tech. I do like the future, but I do like people having an option of like, hey, I want a physical version of the game, or I want a digital version of the game. I don't want people to be like, all I can do is just buy the digital version of this game, and now I got a key that I got to put in order to unlock it, and I have nothing to really show for it. It's like, yeah, no. I want consumers to be able to have a choice to opt in or opt out, or to just, have both. Tippy said, I think I'm about to watch Jim and the Holograms. Of course. Tippy said their songs are better than songs you hear today. Tippy said I wasn't around. I watch reruns. Here we go. Hack said Team Rock is rocking. Oh yeah. Starting trouble. Big Trouble's gonna follow. Yep. Tippy said I remember Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Hack said, yeah, Batman Beyond was oh yeah, Batman Beyond. Yo, that Batman Beyond's theme song, you didn't even need words. You were just sitting up there dancing. Like you were just automatically dancing. And then you had Justice League Unlimited. Da 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 da. Yeah, that one. Static Shock was dope too. I think there should have been Little Romeo that did the rap for it. It was, like I said, a lot of theme songs, 90s and early 2000s were pretty good. Pretty good. Hack said, I hate how Nintendo is bricking the system. Yeah, I didn't like that either. I think earlier on when somebody actually got an early console, early Switch 2, they would not allow the person to actually play. I think they either bricked it or they wouldn't allow it to work up until they basically said so. And I'm like, yeah, no, if I paid $400 to $500 for the system, you ain't telling me when it is that I can use or cut on. Like, that's great. Like, just imagine if car companies do that. Like, you sat up there and got a version, a modded version of the car that they sell at the dealership, but the dealership is like, yeah, we don't give people the rights to mod these cars. So since you got a modded version of the car, we're going to brick that car. Just imagine if car companies started doing it, and not saying that they couldn't, because they very easily could. Like I said, this would be out of whack. Just imagine if they did that to PCs. Like, oh, we don't agree with the customization with the parts that you put into the computer. We're going to brick that computer. Wild. That is wild. Somebody said Men in Black theme song. Oh yeah. Men in Black was dope too. Tippy said, "What's Captain Earth?" Y'all 90s kids watching. You mean Captain Planet, Tippy? You said Captain Earth. Get off this live stream, Tippy. I can't deal with you right now. This woman said Captain Earth. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. K5 said, OMG, I'm going to learn how to play Batman Beyond on bass and guitar right now. Yeah, that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. Samurai Pizza Cats. Oh yeah. Tippy said that would sound cool. Third Eye said Tesla does it actually. Yeah, they do. If it's not the winner that's breaking those cars, then they'll do it themselves. Tippy said, LOL. Of course you'd be laughing, Tippy. Sitting up there butchering Captain Planet. You'll pay for this, Captain Planet. We're the Planeteers, and you can be one too. Because saving our planet is the thing to do. Polluting is not the way. Here is Captain Planet has to say. Let me tell you, Tippy. Back in the day, cartoons had messages. That was a cartoon that taught kids like, yo, you don't pollute and you don't litter. You see some litter, you pick it up and you throw it in the trash. Like I said, generations were raised on that. I don't know what to tell you about these new kids now. They don't got nothing out there. They don't got that. TV said, I'm sorry, my bad. Nah. You meant that. Mogul said Roni Kenshin had a great intro song. Oh, yeah. Roni Kenshin had one. Outlaw Star had one. Was it Tenchi Muyo? Tenchi Muyo might have been. Well, you know what? Above those, I have to put Cowboy Bebop. And everybody knows. Everybody knows if you were around during Adult Swim and you were asleep, that was one of the main songs that either that song woke you up or it was the ending song for Inuyasha. Or you might have woke up to Big O, Big O, Big O, Big O, Big O, Big O. It was either one of three of those songs. Somehow, some way, you ended up running into those songs. Yu Yu Hakusho. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho. Look here, it was a lot. That's how I'm gonna put it because I'm not even trying to sit up there and like forget no songs. It was a lot of them. Tippy said, I remember reading stars, reading rainbows. Nah, Tippy, now you just butcher stuff on purpose. Get out of here, Tippy. Now you doing this on purpose now. You are doing this on purpose. I can already tell you just sitting up there just laughing on your phone, typing, just laughing. Lord. My uncle said Ghost in the Gun Show. Oh yeah. Tank. Do I remember Tank? Not sure. Shout out to the Sci-Fi Channel because it helped raise me on a lot of Japanese anime, especially like Domino Police. That was one of my favorite ones, along with Fatal Fury. K5 said Cowboy Bebop is why I love jazz to this day. Yep. Cowboy Bebop OST is perfect. Facts. K5 said, yo, big O theme song. Yep. Oh yeah, Lupin the Third. Yeah. Miss Gundam Double O's. Oh yeah. Yeah. Tippy sitting up here. That's how I know you're doing it on purpose. Third Eye said, who remembers Paranoid Agent? Oh yeah, I remember that. Along with Blue Gender and S Cryad. Each episode from that show left a stain on your soul. And then you also have Fooly Cooley. Yep. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. We've been going for like close to like 4 hours, and that video is going to launch at about 6. So I want to have it uninterrupted so that it'll actually be up there for you guys. So much love, respect, and appreciation. And thank you guys for being here during this live stream and the duration of this live stream and taking part in any and all of the conversations. And just remember, anything that you saw directly in the live stream, you will be able to see in a single formatted video. Shout out to all of the members. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out to anybody who has donated to the platform. Shout out to Xavier. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Again, shout out to the members. Shout out to beautiful, wonderful moderators for doing the Lord's work every single day. Shout out to the patrons, and shout out to anybody else who has supported the channel over these years. Wouldn't be able to do it without people like you. TV said, did I butcher the song? Yep, you butchered the song. Horribly butchered the song. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream and or video. Peace out.